Wonder what that will show. Yeah.
Your favourite fish track?
Saints are pretty good in the wet, usually. Yeah. Because I'm yet to see what. Yeah. No, it's a good finish from you guys.
Yeah, finally started to get quick into it. We had
Yeah, exactly. That's what you need.
Yeah,
Like going to that buy round especially.
you want to go to the bottom. It's like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Really close on the month. You go back. You don't have to put it week behind it. That's why you go and stuff.
Are they doing anything this weekend?
Mostly just fun. Scratch back.
Yeah.
You'll get to it. They'll probably girls will catch up with those.
I thought you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always a question of when would you like the buy round to be for your side.
I reckon now's good.
It's good. Yeah. You've had a few games set in.
It's almost like the time
It's a good time, yeah. Well, you're back here with Will?
Yeah, Will's here tonight. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, true. Exactly. It's good to see Palmer get a win. They were close to it before against us. And then you go into that game against Palmo and won in 20 months.
Yeah, you go in and think, well, you know, it's almost the same time. And you can have more good, especially this time of year, it's just strange. First, good sides always play well, mostly play well, but it's that bottom of the ball
where you just don't
bounce around, and that gets quite weak. That kind of is. Go play party, it's time to get beat. Otherwise, you don't know.
You don't. It's been an interesting season so far.
Who's been the standout for you? You reckon players?
Players or teams?
Oh, players.
Players? Jen Anderson from District. Yeah. It's hard to pass about like that. I think we've given him 3 votes twice now, so it's a nice count.
Well, I thought Chancellor was going to get it last week. I mean, he's played it, and Anderson just kept doing it.
Yeah.
With this game, I gave him to in the first half, I gave him there. In the second half, Anderson and in the second half,
I mean, they're doing that without. They didn't have to. So the main kicker is gone, and they're still.
Why'd you know this is
True.
Yeah, see, we've been roughing and running around. Apparently, I mean, he always cuts it. There's a play that must have done this.
Straight in. I mean, Ash and Hams as well was out last week, so.
Yeah, there's a couple. Who have we got this week?
They're tomorrow against Buffalo. Yeah. They got Pickett back.
Yeah, Pickett depends on what happens in the court cases. If he's going to play 5 years, so he's got to play. I would have thought he'd better be I would have thought he'd better play every game. They'll get they've already played.
to.
So he's going to get 3 more
Yeah. Safely in there.
Yeah, he's
Well, I heard he was on the way to last week. Well, it's a question mark for me at the moment. I haven't seen a lot of them, but I just don't. I just don't know where they're at the moment.
No. They've got some good players, but it's whether they. I mean, it's got a great coach. Yeah. Probably the best coach. Yeah, amongst the best coaches.
Yeah, you go on merit. You got to give it to Rick at the moment.
It's whether they can get out. I know they lost. I saw him. I saw him lose a bit. How about to the group? Getting the big spot. That's all it's been just if you could get you want to play man, you want to do it. You just whatever they get in there. You couldn't mention that. That's just time. Yeah. That's strict threat. Whereas crossing lane, this is what you said. His message is right pushing and doing message.
Yeah, exactly.
Full season, you know, like it's years, but it depends. Injuries are always a thing, mate. And
good point.
you've got to sign the women's up here, couple of weeks.
Any early info on who that is?
We haven't got something big.
Oh yeah. It's Brett Campbell's last one.
I was happy.
Yep. Yeah.
Brady's going to leave in the front.
If it gets to me, then I might have to sort it for you, but...
It's been
when's Ryan back?
2 weeks after mine, so it's around 6.
Okay.
He had an injury to his shoulder, which is coming. He also wants to play in the league. And we obviously had a chat with this as well, so we can yes. So that's what he's doing. Once he comes back, he'll play.
I mean, he's a great guy.
Oh, he's a great leader. Yeah. He's the best player.
I mean, last season, how we didn't get more votes than this was now.
Were they there?
Did it look at anyone in the back line ever?
And I'll tell you where are you, Will? What call we going on? There was a game where he controlled.
Yeah.
He was making rent. Didn't get him votes.
Maybe everyone's waiting for him. Well, I better go and get set up.
Alright, so we go. Yeah, I don't believe it.
Can't complain.
2 in a row, mate.
2 in a row. Good to see you.
How you doing, mate? Everyone seems to be cold.
Yeah, absolutely. You same as last week?
Yeah. You want me to talk this as well? Or?
I reckon same. Same, possibly more, but just what you feel comfortable with. Like,
Oh, I was just watching that. I was talking to you, mate. You say no.
I reckon if you're happy for me to move this play by play, then when I throw you, it just gives you stuff to actually talk about instead of just being like a third thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna not do these up quickly, man. Like, I'm just gonna do that.
We have a cushion to sit on. Oh, I know, because it's just, it gets a bit rough after time.
What is it called?
Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. Does that make any difference? Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, you can have this up as well. Oh, yeah, we'll put them here. Because I think we've still got Will Clark who's probably running. Oh, left. Oh, you meant. Yeah, left.
他来了，你们那边怎么做的呀？
Anyway, but essentially it's like a.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is that all yours? All right. Elite.
Thank you.
怎么休息去 score？ 那他怎么不来外？
We've got everybody now on here.
So keep it across behind the tree.
哦，老马叫他 scoring。没办法，我和伟霆就这么的酷。要 replay 吗？
I'll be that. Yeah, we'll have to move
切我，然后我从调过来，现在他听不到，他没戴耳机，没事，我跟他说他那个耳机戴不了，不知道为什么。接下来就是对那个翻译官不太尴尬。还有带个小秘书。不行，他不是这个人呀，这个look back 是吧？干嘛我们都不太很小。有点像那个马克达蒙的机会吧。好像那马克达蒙有那个长城，才会有那没事，那我你让他开另外一个啊，就开另外一个对，老东西，他遇见我过来了。你不让他过来吗？你让他过去。
We left the unlocked car.
对啊，对的，好像还好。还行，你再看看不行的话，等下我再。大陆队员，你猜 那个大路灯，就是画质有点麻，画质有点毛躁，跟刚才有点冲突，但是可能有点搞不清楚。黑的。
Want to jump on?
Hello, look, upgrade this week. Ed, hello.
Sorry.
老张挑啊，
See this week you really splurged on the $3 bike from Kmart. Yeah, Ryan's like, yeah, I measured up, it's all good to go. I put it into it, I was like, right, it doesn't fit us.
Good evening and welcome to Gardens Oval for round 4 Friday night footy. I think we got match of the round here. It's Waratah versus St Mary's. I'm Will Zwar. With me tonight is Mark Dodge. And Dodgy, what do you reckon of tonight's game?
Mate, this is really going to be exciting. There's obviously a bit of rain around as well. I think it's been raining since about 3 o'clock this afternoon, off and on, which is probably going to even things out a little bit. It looks like we're going for a coin toss now. We've got 2 captains in the middle there. I'm not sure who that lady is doing the coin toss there, but...
Looks like it's, they're just trying to work it out in the mud. Looks like it might have a bit of a muddy afternoon.
Saints win.
Dylan Lance won the coin toss. They'll kick to right of screen tonight. Had a fair rainstorm, a bit of a thunderstorm through here in the afternoon. So don't know if it's quite still raining out there, but it will be muddy and wet conditions, you'd think.
The under-18 boys, they would handle it pretty well. So they, there was obviously a score blowout, but it was more about the size rather than the conditions. It's this ground here is good at this time of year. It's sandy, it drains well. When we get later in the season, it becomes a bit more of an issue. But right now, it's a great ground to be playing footy on. And once again, I think we've got the match of the round.
It's second versus fifth.
Yeah.
Where do you think those two teams sit on the real ladder? Do you think that's a fair reflection of where they sit?
I think it's pretty close. I mean, Saints have done everything right. They're continuing to win, and they had a big win last week against Pints, which was a great win. Tars went out to Nightcliff, held it with Nightcliff right the way through, right to the end, and then got blown away at the end there by about 30 points. So I guess it's once again, it's early in the season. I was just chatting to a couple of people earlier. Ricky Nolan being a brand new coach at Tars, he's probably taking a while to settle in, but you can't write these guys off. They're both very, very good sides, and it's hard to beat this one, I reckon. Yeah,
absolutely. For me, Waratah were the better team for 3 quarters last week, and they just ran out of petrol tickets. Nightcliff ran over the top, a little bit more experience, and a really strong forward line was just able to finish the job after what's been a pretty inaccurate start for the Tigers. I think Waratah will come out pretty hungry tonight, but first time for me seeing the Saints this year, but from what I've heard, they've been pretty impressive, and I think they will take the 4 points.
I saw them in round 1. They were inaccurate round 1, but that was the first round, playing in some pretty good conditions. They have done everything right this year. It's very difficult to work out where their form line is. But they are sitting second on the ladder and haven't done anything wrong, so you can't sort of put it on them. Tars will definitely want to have a payback after losing to Nightcliff last week. They would be disappointed with that game, and they want to get a bit of revenge here if they can.
And given there has been a bit of thunder and lightning around, we'll just give you a quick brief on the wet weather policy that we've got here. But in short, if a game is stopped or yet to start from a scheduled time, it has 30 minutes to restart or commence. Obviously, we're pretty close to that now, so that should be fine.
Should be fine.
But if there is a match that is stopped after half-time and it can't recommence within 30 minutes, it'll be deemed complete. Before half-time, it'll be deemed a draw, or a washout or a draw. So hoping, I think the thunderstorm is pretty much past tonight. But if that's what happens, then hopefully at home you know what's going on as much as we do.
Yeah, and that's interesting because, I mean, I know Saints a couple of years ago went over to Tiwi, were losing most of the game, lost it at half-time because the storms came in. So you want to be ahead in this sort of weather if you can, and sort of lead that charge right the way through. You definitely want to be in touch anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we will be in for a big, fast start, as you say, just to make sure that if that rain does return, whoever's in front at the time can try and maintain and hold that lead.
Yeah, look, rain is an unknown quantity in our footy game, but I think both these sides have got some pretty good small bodies as well, so this will be the sort of team that should be able to handle it, and the better players always do well anyway.
So, as we mentioned, St Mary's, they'll be kicking to the right of screen tonight. Waratah kicking to the left. And it looks like in the right we've got, I think it's, is it Will Robinson for St Mary's?
Yes, it is, yep.
And for Waratah, they've sort of had Riley Irvin's been doing most of it in the early stage of this season, and he'll be starting there again tonight. And away we go. Irvin, he gets the first tap out, almost paddled it to himself. Just trying to hack it off the ground was Garner. Bounced up into his hands and he hacks it forward, his centre half forward. Oh, what a fly. Couldn't quite take the mark, and there'll be a free kick to St Mary's for a hold. Looks like it's going to Nicky Aaron.
So Nick Aaron's one of the keys to the St Mary's side. Obviously, if he can get on the board early, that's going to make a big difference. Very, very clever football and a great kick for goal normally. I'll probably put the moz on him now.
He's a long way out. It is wet. It will be a wet footy, so it'll be interesting to see how he's adjusted to it. Be kicking from probably just on the paint of 50. Oh, it's a good-looking kick.
It's good off the boot.
Oh, touched on the line. So very fast start, as we said. St Mary's get the first point.
Yeah, and you can see Saints are already sort of trying to hustle already forward. They're pushing forward. As soon as that ball was won, they were all pushing forward in great numbers, which is pretty much the way of the footy, but they just do it well, don't they, Saints? All smothered.
Fullback, and Banbury's kick, as we mentioned, smothered, and then just absolutely barreled down. So already the game style is pretty telling from both sides. They've jumped into the wet weather boots. The good strong tackle there from Kelly, trying to keep the ball in possession. Had an arm over the top there, but umpires called for a ball up.
Yeah, in this sort of weather, well, you've got to keep the ball moving forward at all costs, because it is going to be slippery. It's not going to be a game of big marking forwards generally.
Now paddles out the backside. I think that might have been Corey Rich there. Got it down to Carroll. Handball now inboard to Carlin. Carlin goes inside 50. Oh, just a bit too high for the forward to get it cleanly, and spills over. Waratah move it relatively smoothly up into their forward line.
They do, and it was a good-looking 4-0 forward. They've just got to make sure that that last kick, they've just got to lower the eyes a little bit, just make sure it's in the right sort of right sort of length, I think.
Ball comes in now. Hutt competing in the ruck for Waratah, also playing mostly at full forward this season for them. Beanpole of a forward. Now works forward. I think that's Turner. Actually, it's Ben Brown. Got a tackle and applying some pressure.
He's stagnant at the moment on the forward line of the Tars. I think they've got to get that movement happening as soon as they get control of the footy.
Yeah, a little bit of a hold-up, it seems, after what was a pretty fast start. Here comes Brown again, just trying to paddle it forward. Ball spills out. Waratah now in possession. Kicked forward there. I think it might have been Irvin again.
Just a bit of a kick and hope that one will, I think.
Hutt, he paddles it forward. Carroll picks it up relatively clean. Ball still in congestion, in dispute. Now comes out. Oh, check side up to the top of the square. Under it. Oh, didn't quite read it there properly, was Hoare. Paddled over the top. Carlin check sided it, came the wrong way off his boot and out of bounds on the full over the fence.
One of the most difficult kicks in footy, that one with the check side, particularly when you're facing the other way. So, yeah, I guess it's worth a try. As we said, you've got to keep that ball moving in this sort of weather and keep it moving forward, and that's what Tars were doing. Just a slight delay now while they go and get the footy.
So this is Liam O'Brien. Just, as you can see, wet weather, he's looking to kick it long and towards the boundary. Irvin, he got to the prime position, couldn't hold the mark though. Robinson, he's at the full of it too for St Mary's. Getting a handball out though, and it's Scott Carlin who's been over it a fair bit early. He's probably been one of their better players this year. Now crumbing it, or umpire will call it back. Free kick going Waratah's way. Yeah,
Carlin did really well there, and he's that sort of player who pops up out of nowhere, and you don't realise next thing you know he's got another couple of kicks.
Short, sharp one from Kelly over the top.
It's a good setup. Yeah. That's that pocket that people sometimes struggle on, but they play this ground obviously as their home ground, so you'd think they would have had a couple of goal kicking practices from that side.
Yeah, I think it's Corey Rich with ball in hand. I think over the past few years his goal kicking has definitely improved significantly. This one would definitely be a confidence booster for him and the side. Comes in and kicks it. Oh, not quite sure of it. Across the face and paddled through for a behind. Levels up the scoring. One behind apiece.
Yeah, interesting game to start off. And I saw the runner for Waratah out speaking to their ruckman. I think he's one of the keys here. He's very, very strong, and he's strong around the ground too. Sets up a lot of picks.
Big long kick out from fullback to Brown. Oh, cheeky handball over the top. Now gets it forward on the outside. One bounce from the winger. kicks it down the line. Just in hope, though, and at half-back it's intercepted and just rocketed down there again. Brown, he'll have another chance. A bit further upfield now on the wing he is.
Just playing a bit of kick to kick, those two.
Short, sharp one.
The Saints' game plan seems to be seeing go short wherever possible. They kicked it long that time, though.
Kieran Parnell deep into the forward pocket, couldn't be marked. Nearly picked up from the runner on the way through. But there's Emboscado, gets a handball out, and Waratah again clear the danger. Only as far as Brown, who's been very lively so far. Probably his 4th or 5th touch.
Controlling that wing half-back line very well, isn't he?
Now, with Tui. Again, that kick needed stick, and it just hit his teammate on the half volley.
Yeah, a couple of players not quite getting the kicking boots on. I think they'll probably settle down a bit. It's pretty frenetic pace, though, at the early part of the game.
Similar to Nightcliffe's game last week, to Waratah's game against Nightcliffe last week, where neither team really got the game on their terms in the early stages. Still in dispute. Robinson takes it out of the ruck, try to get handball away. Carlin, he gets it out. And now Waratah, just another grubber off the boot. Try to get picked up there from the Saints midfielder on top of the ball, deep in it. Here comes Corey Rich, belts it forward again.
Good kick that time.
Mark couldn't be taken.
Did everything right except mark it.
Hoare kept his feet, important in these conditions. Handballed over the top again, a cheeky one from Lovell. Handball over the top to Monty. And then Waratah go forward, touched off the boot. Umpire says so, another behind. They take the lead.
Sometimes our game can be a cruel game. That deserved a goal. It was a great build-up and a good kick off the boot, but just unfortunately got touched for the Tars off the boot.
Again, kick out from fullback. Finds his man. Kieran Parnell famously tagged Gary Ablett in his appearance for Palmerston up here a few years ago. Had a pretty good night that night, Parnell. Works back now. And just spinning out of danger. Waratah now work it forward again. Bit of a hold up at half-back. A few Saints numbers there, can't take it cleanly. Waratah there to potentially take the scraps, and here they come. Out of the pack and snapping was O'Day. Couldn't kick a goal last week. Potentially now, although that one won't be the trick. Now Zach Robinson, he kicks it out from full-back. Only as far, though, as Wisnek. And spills through his hands, so St Mary's on the rebound. They're working up forward. Collis, the loose man.
They had all the control too, Saints, that time. They should have been better with their last kick because they had full control of the ball and very quick off the boot.
Well, good short, sharp pass by Collis, but probably a bit too far there. He'll have another crack here. Gets past one, just throws it on the boot into space. I think this is Rogers. He picks it up. Again, wasn't clean with it. Land, he tried to be clean, paddles it out to a bit of space, hacks it off. I think he shinned his opponent there. And spills over the boundary line. A little bit
lucky, maybe, you reckon?
Yeah, a little bit of demonstration potentially there from Waratah, but they're keeping it cool enough for now.
Yeah, and you've got to keep your head in that situation.
Irvin just muscled his way to the front there, almost tackled by the ruckman. Ping for holding the ball, and it'll be Robinson. He gives it off straight away to Parnell. Now he goes into the forward pocket. Lamp with a paddock of space. Sorry, it's Calder with a paddock of space, but good work from O'Dwyer. Famous old rivals there from the grand final a few years ago.
Yeah, and O'Dwyer just read that better, didn't he? Overall, he just had control of the footy when it hit the ground straight away. It's a pretty congested forward line down there for...
It'll be a good duel at full back there, full forward tonight, I think, between Calder and O'Dwyer.
Yeah.
Waratah, they just belted out of there. Bounces in a good spot for them and over the boundary line. Oh, umpire's called deliberate there.
Seriously, he's kicked that 25, 30 metres. It's a tough call, isn't it?
Should have bounced at right angles as well, but that's the way the umpire read it.
Yeah,
St Mary's player caught a play on. They might be caught in a spot above themselves here. Handball back there from Chris, but now he goes to centre half forward. Picked up by Brown again and hacks it onto the boot. Calder at full forward, one out on O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer gets the chocolates again. 2 from 2. He goes out the far side looking to clear it, and that's a beautiful kick. Finds Carroll on half back, and absolutely fantastic kick there in wet conditions from O'Dwyer.
Dominating that back line currently.
Carroll's ball, again, just another one of those ones in hope. O'Day. I thought he was pretty quiet last week, but I think he got second in disposals for the match, so flew under the radar a little bit. and ball spills over the boundary line and St Mary's forward line.
It's basically a muscle. It's a muscle up at the moment. There's the two teams are sort of in an arm wrestle. Both back lines are in control. They both need to sort of look where they're going forward and lower the eyes a little bit to try and get the kick forward in a better position.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a game where both teams are more concerned about not letting their opponents score than they are about scoring themselves at this stage.
Agreed. Yeah.
Cal wrapped up with ball in hand.
It's plenty physical enough. It's similar to last week's game that we saw, Will. There's plenty of physicality there in a fair way. I think that this sort of ground lends it to that, being a smaller ground.
Robinson wins it out of the ruck there. Try to follow up with a tackle. Irvin, he gets a handball out to the runner. Went over his target, but there was another player there waiting in support. Down the line and spills over the boundary line on centre wing.
It's a bit of a kick and hope out of the back lines at the moment, both back lines. Once they get sort of past that midfield, it's basically a kick and hope. They've just got to try and sort themselves out, get a few players separating out a little bit. Just looking up the ground there, they're sort of all bunched together instead of pairing off. I guess that's a tactic to stop the scoring, but it doesn't make for an easy score.
Absolutely, and there's potentially an opportunity for both sides if they kick it out this grandstand side. Would make our job easier as well, reading these numbers.
Could they do that? That'd be good.
Kick forward, cut off at half back there from Zach Robinson, and a free kick paid going Waratah's way. Hold off the ball. A few of them paid tonight, which you imagine there could be with the wet weather. Just players getting a bit too close to their opponent. Good kick from Carlin. Couldn't be marked by his teammate in Hoare at half forward, and the umpire again another free kick for holding the man.
It's going to Tarzi. I think he had control of the footy and he just was illegally bumped off it, so I think that's a probably fair call. Holding the man, whatever you want to call that decision, but yeah, he certainly had a great kick coming into him, and that's the sort of kick they need, that sort of in front of him, ready to run onto a mark.
Interesting angle here for Hoare. It's probably similar to where Corey Rich had his shot early in the quarter. From here, it looks like, potentially in these conditions, you might be better off passing it off, but there's nothing presenting, so he'll have a shot himself. It's not a bad-looking kick at all, and he's proved me wrong.
You think he might have done that once or twice at training?
Kicks the opener of this one. 1-2, Waratah jump out to a 7-point lead.
Just perfectly weighted kick, aimed at the left goalpost, and the breeze just straightened it up, and kicking it towards the sea there, it's always going to do that. It's always going to hold up a little bit, so you need to have plenty of power off your kick, and great kick, wonderful kick from the forward line there.
Absolutely, and I think you're right, he probably has kicked that kick a few times at training before, but a big advantage Waratah will generally hold at this ground, given they train here every week and play 6 or 7 times here per season. And I guess the other thing to note is it's just slipped my mind. I've started a sentence, I didn't know where it was finishing.
The spiritual home of footy, of course, being Waratah Oval here, so a Gardens Oval, and they just at the moment they probably look a bit more polished, Waratah.
Yeah, absolutely. But the other thing as well, I guess, is that it is a windy ground here compared to some of the other grounds. And, when you do train here and play here as much as they do, you tend to read it and know it a little bit better than your opposition.
Work out which way to kick with the gale or against it.
Free kick again at half forward for Waratah. In fact, it's a little bit deeper than that, so there'll be a free kick on goal. Potentially this time to O'Day.
Yeah, just a little bit slow behind the player, and they just need to get in front a little bit to St Mary's if they're going to win these conditions, and the umpire's always going to pay that as a free kick because he was just over the ball, just a shove on the back, and a simple decision for an umpire. He looks in a good position to be kicking this one.
Pretty explosive forward and midfielder when he gets onto it. Goalless last week, but that one's good. He likes it, and Waratah skip out to what I'm going to call an unlikely 13-point lead early in this one.
Yeah, they have dominated around the ground, and they've started to get that forward line working for them. So that's where the difference is between the two sides. I think they're also winning a few of those clearances, which makes a big difference to getting the ball out quickly.
And interesting to see how the two sides have, sort of adapted their game to these wet weather conditions.
Although it does look like it's drying out there, so perhaps the ball is wet. Obviously the ground's in good condition, so you can still run on the top of the ground very well.
You can see on screen that centre square, or the centre part of that centre square, is quite muddy. I imagine they'll be trying to keep it out of there as much as they can. And that far wing has proven popular so far tonight. Hacked off the ground at half back from Waratah, and again at half forward, now into their forward line. Only as far as Parnell again. He's been all right tonight. Carroll tried to get through, snapped on his left to the top of the square. Touched on its way through and over for another behind.
Yeah, it's all Waratah at the moment. They've got control of the footy around the ground and peppering the goals forward.
Jacob Long on kick-out duties. He's got a short lead from Ethan Bush off screen, which he'll ignore. Instead looks out to the other side, and now we'll come back to the first side. Long kick almost onto the wing. Yaron did very well to compose himself in the ball and then kicks it to Jack Land on the wing. Ball spilled through, picked up there by Barty.
Land again.
And Garner, oh, great smother there. Now work through, Yaron kept running. Oh, beautiful kick out the side, and he's just spotted his teammate in the perfect position, weighted that beautifully to Mitch Musgrove. Had an option in the pocket which he toyed with, but instead I think he thought, I'm on a good angle here, I'll go back and have a look.
And a beautiful kick right out in front just made it simple for the forward to get onto it. So I think this is the style that they're looking to play, especially with Yaron around the ground and that skill that he's got.
Beautiful precision from Yaron there as well, in, as we've said a few times, wet conditions. Here comes Musgrove.
Straight over the goal pipe for here.
And he's kicked it through. They kicked their first of the night and reduce it to an 8-point margin.
Yeah, that's a first real proper foray forward where they've actually had some structure behind what they were doing. So the rest of the time they just sort of brushed it forward. And Yaron is always a terrific player when he's get the ball in his hand. He can just look forward. And as you said, decision making is the key to him. He had two options. He could go wide to the pocket, went straight down, put on top of the podium, and that's the best place to be, obviously. Be curious to see what happens to the ruck here. It seemed to be that Waratah was controlling it, but we'll see what happens this time.
Zach Robinson, probably not the role he's used to playing. I think a few years ago played a lot of half-back and key defender for them. Finds himself in the ruck tonight. Comes out, good work there from Sinot to half forward, just rolls over onto over the boundary line near the Waratah bench in the Waratah club.
And a pretty good crowding tonight. Well, it's solid. You would say it was spectacular. It's solid, and those stands are always pretty full when it's a bit wet. So it's good to see the people out supporting football on a Friday night. Yeah,
a little bit slow to start, but they've definitely turned up the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Ball comes out the back. Here is Ben Brown again. Oh, gee, that's a beautiful kick. Finds O'Brien. Also been pretty good at half-back so far tonight. Told to play on then. Second-guessed himself and just does a high one up to the wing. Only as far as Robbie Barty. Been pretty solid for them this year too. He goes to centre-half forward now. Punched out the back. Crumbing it at ground level there, or trying to, was Saltalamarkia. Carroll, he picks it up, breaks one defender, snaps on goal. Umpire loves that, and so does the crowd. Carroll kicks his first of the night, and Waratah's third.
Carroll just once again was dominating that. He was just like he was pouncing on it. You know, he was just ready to go, grabbed the ball, and just knew exactly what he was going to be doing. He was going to have a shot on goal. There's no way it's going to be a handball or a kick off that one.
No, beautiful play here. If you just take a look at the replays, just lurking out the back, and then he knows as soon as it's in his hands, he explodes away, and his left foot is as trusty as anyone's.
And measured it beautifully, just kicked it to the right length and the right height. And that makes it very interesting again. So the sides are very even, and I think probably Waratah got control again out of the ruck. Although there was no real decisive knock, it was just the sharking, if you like, or the midfielders that got on top there.
Robinson that time in the ruck, but only as far as the Tars midfielder. Now they scramble it out. Dylan Land, decent hit there on the contest. All fair play. Oh, great mark there on ground level. Brown's calling for it to be play on. In fact, it's Dom Grant, sorry. But mark's been taken by Rogers.
Just had eyes for the footy and just controlled it all the way down, and it was definitely a mark.
So Waratah with a fast start.
And in that position again, right in front of goal, 35-40, probably going to kick it for 40-50, but I think this is going to, I don't think the distance is going to worry him. Actually, he's going to kick closer than that.
In comes Max Rick Rogers. Oh, he likes that one, straight off the boot. And his teammates get around him. Waratah skip further ahead. 4-3-27. They hold a 20-point lead. St Mary's 1-1-7.
Beautiful kick off the boot. Just total control again. And once again, you can see where these Waratah boys are kicking. They just know where to kick the ball when it comes to that end of the ground.
And young Rogers, just 17 years old,
wow.
So one of their juniors, and he's played pretty strongly in their forward line. A bit quiet at times when the ball's been down the other end so far this year, but it's definitely been impressive.
He looks a bit undersized, but gee, he was good there. He just had total control of the footy and no issues with the kick at all. And the ruck again. See who wins this one.
Irvin that time. Doing okay, doing pretty well. Hacked forward though by Garner. Couldn't get it that far. Saltalamarkia now off the run. Kicks to half forward.
Saltalamarkia just controlling that midfield, isn't he?
Advantage play on. Ball goes into that centre corridor. Rogers, he couldn't mark it. Rich was lurking. Bounced the other way though. Rogers will have another crack at it. Paddles it forward. Gets it out wide. No, they don't. They keep it in close quarters. Now a handball out, but only as far as Robinson. And he kicks it to centre half back into the danger zone for St Mary's. Running through Irvin.
Saints just doing a bit of kick and hope out of that back line. They've just got to settle it down a bit. Just have a look. They're getting plenty of footy. They're just not doing very well with the disposal.
Yeah, panicking a little bit more than you expect from a team of their experience.
Oh, big jump out of nowhere.
Tap down and then hacked out of there. It's a foot race. Rogers in the back pocket on Long. Long will hold his feet, run back inside. Maybe not the option. He'll have to turn back outside. And then again, just throws it onto the boot. Spills out the back. That could work for them. No, bounces, and now it comes down to Kirinoa. Ball stripped. Ball hits the deck. Kirinoa gets another touch out to Saltalamarkia. A high one, and that'll be taken. Safe hands there of Ryan Crisp.
Bit of push and shove off the ball with Kirinoa then.
Works it back, and Tui, he kicks it out wide to 3 Waratah players to choose from. And there's a free kick again going Waratah's way.
Just got the numbers around the ball, and why they kick it that far on that wing, I don't know, because there was 4 or 5 Waratah players that could mark that.
Young Brody Emboscado, an 18-year-old, another youngster for them tonight. Kicks it. Kelly tried to get hands on it at full forward, but it's worked out to some areas at the back, and they kick it out that far side again.
Much better kick out of the back line that time. Found the player at the half back line. Captain
and Jewel Nichols medalist here in Dylan Land.
Lance looking, he hasn't got many leads options. He's going to have to go down the line.
I think it
it's a 50 metre
penalty.
Oh, right, that's the reason. Yeah. Must have run across the protected zone.
And downfield, there's not a lot of movement. So, they're moving him back, actually.
What does that mean?
Maybe it's a turnover, or... In fact, it's exactly what's happened.
They turned it across, yeah. I didn't see what happened.
O'Day launches from outside 52, far from home. Top of the square he goes, punch through for a behind for 4.28.
You don't often see a 50-metre penalty reversed and given to the opposition.
No, potentially a little bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah, maybe.
Long again from fullback.
Yeah, look, once again, he's got no options. There's nobody moving, there's no movement. Oh, we've got someone coming across the half-forward line now, the half-back line, I should say. Once again, kicked it to a pack of players.
Taken there by Waratah. Oh, good work there to evade the tackler from Sinnott into the forward pocket. Beautiful kick. Beautiful mark there. Aho's been lively in this first quarter.
He has, and Sinnott was fantastic there, wasn't he? Just ducked and weaved and got it on the boot, and on that left foot got it beautifully.
So Haw, this one tighter than the last one, but he's still confident of his skills. It's a good kick again.
Right on the bugger.
Just through for a behind, and that is the quarter time siren. So it'll be 4-5-29. Waratah will go with the 22-point lead over St Mary's. Those goal scorers for Waratah: Brody Carroll, Nick Haw, Liam O'Day and Max Rick Rogers, all with 1. And for St Mary's, single goal from about 3 inside forward, 50 entries to Mitch Musgrove. Who do you see as the best players for the first quarter, Dodgy?
Oh, look, it was a bit of a mixture, but the backlines, both backlines are controlling the footy really well. I think you'd have to give it to the backlines. And I think at the moment, the lead is definitely deserved by Waratah. They seem to be a fair bit cleaner on the ball and off the ball. It's an interesting game to watch, and Saints have got to just have a bit of a look at what they're doing around the ground. They are getting to the footy as much as Waratah are, but they're just not using it properly. Coming out that back line, they're just sort of blazing away, and there's always 2 or 3 task players there to rebound very quickly. And Sinot, a couple of times, he's just looked fantastic, just out across that half line and half forward line, I should say, and just setting up goals beautifully.
We'll bring you the second quarter after this short break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to Gardens Oval, round 4 action between Waratah and St Mary's. Wet weather footy here on Friday night, and it's Waratah who have a 22-point lead over St Mary's, 4-5-29. They lead the Saints 1-1-7. I'm Will Zwar, with me is Mark Dodge. What do you make that first quarter, Dodgy?
I thought the Tars controlled it a lot better, but also at the moment we didn't realise, we couldn't really hear here, but the rain was coming down pretty solidly, and it's rained most of this game. So a 4 or 5 goal lead is probably worth 6 or 7 goals in a wet day. So Saints really have to hit back with 2 or 3 quick ones just to keep themselves in the game. And I think Saints have just got to work out where they're going with that forward line. Both backlines are controlling it very well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. It's definitely Saints in need of a quick one early in this stage. And Robinson, he got the hit out down there, but not really to advantage. Waratah on the wing just trying to work it out. Lant, he's at the fore of the ball as well. He got a clean disposal, only as far there though as Monty. He goes to centre half forward now. Ball flies off hands and paddled down again to ground level. Robinson picks it up and just throws it on the boot, centre half forward. Not a lot of players, plenty of space. Comes off hands though. Now the ball is attacked there by Xavier Vallejo, only as far as half-back player in Robbie Barty for Waratah. And Saints get a break. Lant from 50 metres off one step goes to square. Calder, he tried to caress it through. O'Dwyer's claiming hands, and umpires will call all clear. So that's a goal against the odds, you'd say, to Dylan Lant.
You would, and just got the ball clear and thought, well, I might as well have a go. I think he was looking for a forward, but couldn't find one, and it rolled the right way. The rub of the green went his way. So, look, that's a great start from Saints. Exactly what they wanted to do. That puts them just within the 2 goals. So that's an exciting start. And Lant obviously is an exciting player. Has been for a long time.
Good teamwork from Jackson Calder as well. You can tell as we mentioned, that first quarter, he hasn't won a contest tonight against O'Dwyer. Only had the 2 down there, to be fair. But realises against a quality opponent and just says, you know what, this is looking pretty good. I'm just going to let it. I'm just going to try and shepherd it through and let it go the distance, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, fabulous play at the time.
So they move to 2-1-13. That early goal they needed. Can't stop there though, and there goes Lant, throws it on the boot. Centre half forward it goes. Mark not taken there by Musgrove, spills to ground level. Picked up by Garner, he throws it forward. They're adjusting to the wet weather a little bit better now. Spills through Calder's hands, running through to full-back. Paddled through there. I think it might be Kirinoa on the back line.
And if they're going to give Lant that much space, that's what he's going to do each time. He's done it twice now, and not a midfielder within killie of him. So I know he's a great player, but just get an arm or a body across you, just try and slow him down a bit.
Here comes Banbury. Again, been pretty good for them so far this season on that back line. Robinson, he's been very good tonight.
Yeah, he's all over the ground, isn't he?
Short, sharp, 1.5 forward. Saints not clean with it. Trying to work it forward now. Waratah putting on some pressure, not making it easy, but then just snapped forward there by Musgrove. 2 full forward, bounces over Calder's hair. O'Dwyer now with it and got a good shepherd from his teammate in Kirinoa. Handball now out wide to Collis, playing the loose roll there. His kick didn't hit a target, goes back to Robinson, also loose. Now they work it forward. Bit of aerial ping-pong going on.
And conditions obviously a lot more slippery than we can see here, with players dropping the ball in single marks. So it's obviously a game where, once again, you've got to keep that ball going forward. And it's almost like it's a reversal of the 2 forms. Saints have come out and done what Waratah did to the Saints in their first quarter.
Waratah with a free kick on half-back. And, another grubber. That's telling you the conditions that we're playing in tonight. Still worked for them though. Now inside 50, Rogers tried to work his way to front position. He's given away a free kick in the way though. Now they go out to this near side wing. Beautifully weighted kick to Musgrove. Didn't think it would make the distance, but was well weighted. He plays on, and again just a long one looking for Calder. Try to muster his way. Good work from O'Dwyer again to get into better position. Yaron, he works back. Open goal and drills it.
Bit of brilliance from Yaron again. Just a wonderful player, and I think Musgrove just doing the job.
Yeah, and finishing it off, Xavier Vallejo. Easy as you like, and 2 early ones is exactly what the doctor ordered for St Mary's.
And all of a sudden, there's a real game on our hands, isn't there? With both sides, playing in two different halves of the game, if you like. Saints really have got control at the moment, and once again, they just seem to be controlling it out middle.
Absolutely, and look, to be fair, Xavier Vallejo did make the umpire work there. I thought it might have hit the post, it was on the wrong side at first, but all clear, and back to the middle we go, a 9-point margin. 9
points, and an interesting game, an interesting position for both sides. Let's see what Waratah can do. Can they stem the flow?
That muddy middle of the ground, a few of those plays you can already see it's creeping up their shins. Waratah, again, just sky it. Kelly at the fall of the ball. Plays on, umpire allows him to do so. Not a good kick inside 50. Had to hit his teammate on the half volley and it didn't. Brown gets it out there. Been one of my best for tonight. Waratah, though, again picking it up off the half volley but not clean with it. O'Day tried to keep it in possession. Carlin, he now gets it out there to Monty. Free kick going Waratah's way. And it'll be in Monty's hands, probably just on his range, if not a bit too shy.
They just worked harder than Waratah to get the ball forward and keep it in that forward line, and maybe some reward for effort. But it's a tough shot from there, isn't it? He's kicking it a fair distance out, and it's on a slight angle. Got a couple of leads. He's ignoring those. He's going to definitely have a shot.
Strolls in just inside the paint. Beautiful kick, but just has a bit too much on it and through. 4 are behind.
Gee, it looked good off the boot, though, didn't it? There's no worry with the distance, just a slight inaccuracy.
I was going to say, I went out there for a kick this afternoon, dodgy, about 2:30, well before that storm came in. The wind was definitely favouring that end. We did see that storm come in and don't really know what the wind's doing now, but it looks pretty still out there, so we'll keep an eye on that. Lant, he comes in, maybe a bit too cute there from Bertrand. Made Lant come in for a second bite of the cherry. And the kick only as far as his opposite number, the captain for Waratah, Dill Collis.
His game's been solid tonight.
Nice barrel inside 50. Hits the deck, comes out to Rich. Oh, pretty ugly off the boot and out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, just unlucky there. I think he was trying to control the ball too much. Just get it on the forward and get it up there towards that the podium there and just get the ball in that scoring position.
So Long, he'll take the kick from fullback. From the back pocket, I should say. Oh, flying was Irvin, only went for the fist. Now comes to the fore with Saltalamakia. Absolutely stripped to the ball from Musgrove, and now kick forward from Waratah, bounces out of bounds. Touched over, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Saltamaki just a bit unlucky there. I thought he probably was impeded, but that's just one of those 50-50 calls that the umpires see closer than we do.
And Irvin and Robinson in the ruck. We mentioned a few of those boys in the middle, pretty muddy. Those two, no exception. Parnell's kick smothered by Carl and now spills to centre half forward for Waratah. Kicked off the ground there by Davies. Now onto the wing and pushing to chase it is Ben Brown. He's appealing for a deliberate out of bound, lack of intent, and the umpire will give him his wish.
Yeah, there was obviously no intent to do anything but get it out there.
Short, sharp one back to Parnell. He's got Robinson on this near side calling for it if he wants.
I think he's a bit worried about the ground conditions out that side. I think he's going to keep going forward.
He will. Looking for Calder.
Calder was impeded.
Probably not the right move, or he's gotten a free kick though. I was going to say, not the right move in wet weather to use one arm for your opponent, one hand for the ball. It's very slippery, very hard to get a good grip on it, but if you can work it out this way, you can work it out for the Saints.
Yeah, he just held the player back, and the free kick was there, and it's a good play from a very experienced player.
Rolling with the Fluoros, his first real look at it tonight. Let's see what he can do.
That's that pocket again.
Yeah, we saw Corey Rich push it across the face in that first quarter. In comes Calder. He likes that straight away and reduces the margin to 3 points. St Mary's have come out of the blocks very quickly in this second quarter.
And the winds drop well. There's no real wind advantage, so it's a true playground, which obviously in these conditions is great, because that just means you're just going to keep getting the ball forward. And I think the Saints have obviously at quarter time. I don't know what Chopper said to him, but he's got them fired up and off they're going. Just that midfield too. That's where the control's coming from. It's being controlled by St Mary's, whereas in that first quarter, Tars had all the play in the midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so far the left of screen is definitely the scoring end. St Mary's pretty much squared the ledger here and have a half of a quarter left kicking that direction, but Waratah, they work it out early now, or get it inboard now. The Saltalamarkia had a lot of pressure on him, so went to Rogers. Rogers trying to weave inside and outside, gets a handball away, but St Mary's now with their hands on it. Umpire will call for a ball up as the ball is extracted.
So lively, isn't he, Saltalamarkia? He's in everything, and whenever the ball goes near him, he's a bit of an excitement machine. People stand to their feet and look to see what he's going to do.
Another one of those players who's developed over the last few years, who's sort of moved from that half-back role into a pretty damaging midfielder. Or high grab there from Kieran Parnell, and it will go to Brodie Carroll.
And Saltalamarkia, he's one of those players that has learnt the game by watching it from the half-back line, and now he knows where the ball is, and he's a leader when it comes to getting out of that midfield.
So Carroll already kicked a ripper tonight. This one,
he looks pretty confident bouncing the ball from hand to hand. He doesn't look like he's worried at all by any conditions.
Look, yeah, probably it's well within his range, but it's just how the ball goes in the wet weather. It's for a bit more comfort. He plays on from outside 50. Tried to improve the angle, but just sharks it a little bit and pulls it too much. Another behind for Waratah.
I might be a traditionalist, but I don't know why he just didn't go for a drop punt there. He probably thinks the same now. I think he's trying to get the extra distance, though, and that's a fair enough option.
Saints play on from fullback down that far side.
Oof.
Hits the target, and what a target there in Dylan Lant. He'll play on too.
And Lant's starting to dominate around the ground, playing that ruck rover role. Double
fisted over the boundary line there by Collis.
Yeah, this is the part of the game where, you know, it can go either way. Tars have got to start getting back control of the game, otherwise St Mary's are going to go away with it here and have a healthy lead at halftime.
Does feel like that might be the way it's going. How will the 44 on field prove us wrong? All right. He gets a handball out now to Carlin. Just breaking away there, breaking the lines, and a short one inside 50. Beautiful to Hutt. He played on. Snap on goal. Rogers in the forward pocket takes the mark.
Rogers again, he gets himself into a position to king a goal, doesn't he?
Good team play there from both O'Day and from Hutt, looking for the first option rather than settling and going back for the shot. Rogers has a job far from complete here. Still needs to get it through the big sticks and on a very tight angle.
Get back here, Ben, would you?
Potentially going for a check side here. He is. And he likes that straight off the boot as well.
He loves a goal too, doesn't he?
His second for the night.
I love to see players celebrate a goal. I mean, it's something I tried to get out of fully a few years ago, but I love it. It's part of the game. It gets the crowd going. It gets the juices going because you're a supporter.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're the sort of reasons why people come and watch games, is those sort of players that can, the big sight machines.
Yeah, nothing like the flair and the personality.
No. And Tars did exactly what we were saying they needed to do. They got back in control a bit there, and they've gone to a 13-point lead. So, you know, it's a good break in this weather. It's one of those games where it could go either way, but we'll see what happens from the middle here again, because that's where it's being controlled. But Tars did so well with that 4-8 forward. They just kept it going, and just first options, as you said, first options each time.
Ball up in the middle again now. Tantalising contest in ruck. Spills down. And off the mud, Kelly got a handball away. Saints player hits the deck. Oh, spun out of there. Done very well by Saltalamarkia, working back through traffic. Now edge forward. Sinnott, he got a handball through. Carlin tackled as he went down. Ball comes out, and there'll be a hold on half back going to St Mary's. Got an option out wide, and they'll go to it. Hodges looking down the line, doesn't have a lot to go to.
He's got to hold up and wait for his forwards to get through. Oh, he's just chopped it, but
didn't think it was a good kick, but it's worked to Jack Lant. Gee, he had to explode. Taken out from Kieran Noah. Beautiful hit. It might work out for them, though. Kicking it was Ethan Bush into his teammate, and then paddled it forward. Saltalamarkia again getting involved. Kelly putting the tackle on, trying to extract it there. I think it might be young Seb Cox.
and players can feel that this game's in the balance and there's a bit going on off the ball and on the ball, and mostly fair, and it's a good solid contest with players throwing themselves everywhere.
Ball goes up, tap down, here comes Monty. Just throws on the right, down the wing. Extra St Mary's player at the fall of the ball, and he gets it. Liam O'Brien skies it as well. Now extra Tars at ground level. Corey Rich trying to beat the ball to the boundary line. Stays in and then paddled over by Barty.
And it's going to be which side can adjust to conditions again. There's a few big skyward kicks. You're not going to mark those in these conditions, so it's just a matter of running as hard as you possibly can off the ball. See if you can get a spill.
Comes up in that forward 50 for St Mary's. Calder lurking at full forward, won't see it in this passage, you would think, as Waratah work it out to the near side wing. Ball should keep bouncing in these wet conditions. It does. Stays alive though, or maybe bounced off Carroll's foot, and I think it might have. So going St Mary's way. Here comes Crisp. Short, kick. Sharp one, and yeah, as you said, he's missed everything there. Picked up beautifully there from Hoare. Not clean at all, though. They had a really good opportunity to make something of that, but they haven't. And a strong tackle there from Hodges. Tars now work it out there. Hutt put some pressure on. Tars have numbers outside, and Rogers got boot to ball. Just works forward. Saints couldn't take a mark. Hits the deck now, trying to extract it. Both sides. Saints get the kick out, only as far as Big Irvin lurking, and he goes to the flank. Oh, Rich couldn't take the mark, bounced off his chest. Now picking it up, there's Crisp. Hodges, he picks it up, taken high.
Body's flying everywhere here, Will. It's just a real good contest. It muscles everywhere. I think it's because the game's slowed down a bit with the conditions.
Both sides really fair and hard at the ball as well, not looking for cheapies either, which is what you like to see. Kelly takes it at ground level, tackled instantly but got it out. Rich picks it up. Umpire calls for a ball up.
And the umpire's doing a great job tonight, keeping control of this game. It's a tough game to umpire because it is that sort of hard-hitting game.
Tap down. Irvin tried to rogue his own ball. Yaron, he got a handball away now. Robinson just throws it on the boot. Another pseudo barrel in the wet. Bounces beyond all of them. Here comes Land. He can go for a run if he can get rid of this one. He doesn't. Gets a handball away instead. Now comes O'Dwyer. He gets it to Collis. Collis, oh, look at them swarm on him. And they're getting into him now, aren't they? Bit of a scuffle at half forward over the boundary line. Tempers are flaring here. Free kick paid. I think it might have been. No, it'll be a boundary throw in from inside the Waratah club. Robinson underneath it, try to get to it. Picking it up there was Big Hutt. Umpire will call for another ball up.
And I think players grow another league when they're about the Tars players when they're near that Waratah club. They sort of get a bit excited down there.
Absolutely.
The life members.
Yeah, bit of advice coming over the fence, and probably not the move there from young Liam O'Brien. Just booted the ball and it's gone well over the boundary line. So it'll be young Kelly, another one painted in mud. Hard at the ball tonight. One of their better players so far this year. Not a good kick though. What's the saying? Build a man up and he'll let you down every time. There comes Dill Land inside forward 50. Good punch there from O'Dwyer, having a brilliant game at fullback. Kieran Noah paddles it back to O'Dwyer in plenty of space. That kick, just looking for the right position. No one was there waiting for him though. Oh gee, that's a tap to the boundary line, and the umpire will call for a boundary throw in. Joel Garner probably got away with one there. A few more deliberate than that from what I can see paid tonight. That one not.
Gee, big Joel Garner. I remember watching him bowl for the West Indies. I don't think it's the same person, but gee, he was before your time, I think, Will. But what a spectacular bowler he was.
The Cheney medalist from last season. Extracting it now, Monty. Almost held without it. Got a handball away as he was brought to ground. Getting boot to ball, Tanner Lovell. That one smothered as well. Now tunnel board through. Lant boot to ball. Another touch for him. Oh, big collision at half forward. Hard at it, and the tempers you think are going to go again. Players coming from everywhere. Bit of fire on the field. Oh, players slung to the ground. Flying through there was Barty. Umpires looking to restart play before this bowl's over. It'll be a free kick going St Mary's way. In fact, it's going to Collis, from Waratah. He plays on unattended, just roaming that half-back line. Players now getting to their feet, and they've got a runner on the wing if they can get it to him. Not clean with Saltalamarkia. We'll go out there now. I think it's Big O'Dwyer, finds himself a long way from home. And he goes a short one back to Saltalamarkia. Waratah could be the beneficiaries of that skiffle there.
Well, the Saints players were still involved in the fight, and the Waratah get moving.
Oh, beautiful kick into the pocket there. Not taken, though, by Horse. Spills to ground.
Just this sort of game was going to always boil over. It's that physicality, and people just object to being tackled, but that's part of the game, isn't it? You got to show the flag, but they lost their head there, and Waratah got a run on. So far, hasn't cost them.
High hit there, and it'll be a free kick in front of goal. Going to, I think it's going to Kelly.
Kelly again.
And you're right. Look, I don't think there was anything untoward in that hit on half forward for St Mary's. Just two hard bodies going at it. But that is where you are going to see tempers flare in a hardly and fiercely competitive game like this.
You know you get winded when you throw on the ground, and that always makes you lose your head a bit when you're a player. So it's one of those things, and I think the umpires did a great job in getting the ball moving quickly. It's definitely an instruction to the umpires, just get the ball moving if there's a fight.
Ticking over the 20 and a half minute mark, I should say, of this second quarter.
Vital goal for Waratah here.
Kelly comes in. He likes that. And doesn't he rev them up?
He told the opposition all about that, didn't he?
Absolutely. Extend the margin out to 17 points, Dodgy.
Yeah, 17-point lead, and right near the St Mary's bench, he sort of gave him a little bit of a hoo-ha over there. So nothing untoward, but just told him that he got a goal. 17-point lead is a good lead in these conditions, and once again the game has swung back to Waratah, whereas I thought for the first 3 quarters of that quarter St Mary's had control. Yeah,
absolutely. Look, I think the 17 points is probably 2 or 3 points in favour of Waratah of what it should reflect, but otherwise you'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and they just got on their bikes quicker after that the melee on the half back line, so they just they're smart what they did.
Back in the middle now. Hutt is competing for Waratah. He'll get the clearance. Big kick inside 50. Carroll caught out the back. That doesn't matter. Kelly, he'll go for 2 in a minute. Snaps on goal. That one hits the post.
Kelly, very, very lively, isn't he?
Absolutely. That would have been something for Waratah fans, and it's definitely heavily red and white in the crowd tonight, isn't it, Dodgy?
I can hear a couple of supporters. Not too much from the Saints.
Short, sharp one down the wing. Beautiful kick. Probably not the one, though, in a lot of traffic with a lot of red and white cars. Now going forward or working backwards. Gee, skies it. Hits the wrong side of his boot. Does it for Barty. That one hits the deck now. Here comes Brown. Tries to weave in and out. Tackled. Gets it away just the nick of time. Hutt throws it onto the boot. 2 Saints get to the contest. Rogers, he paddles it to advantage of himself. Then now to a teammate. Running onto it now is Lovell. Gets it forward to Hoare. Hoare on his left. Might not be as preferred because that didn't do too much. Into the pocket. Very tight and spills over the boundary line.
I think he must be a right footer because that ball just went straight up and down 2 metres.
Yeah, didn't do too much at all, did it?
No, he either misses it or he doesn't kick on his left.
And Rogers is cramping a little bit very early, not even half time yet. Just half forward. Ball will be thrown in that forward pocket. Teammate goes to assist Rogers now on screen, as you can see.
Needs to have a cup of pickle juice at half time.
Still yet to win possession in that forward pocket, and we'll have another ball up. 23 minutes gone.
I still don't know why what the science behind pickle juice is with cramp, but it appears to work. Tastes disgusting.
It might be what you need.
Yeah.
Just close your nose and down she goes.
Indeed. And if Taj can somehow sneak another one here, it's going to make it very difficult for Saints. But the ball is in contention all the time, and very, very tough game of footy. I think Taj have just once again shown their class with the control on the forward line.
Robinson gets a hit out there. Saints working backwards. and the siren will assist them as they go into half-time with an 18-point deficit, 6-8-44. Waratah leading St Mary's 4-2-26. Our goal scorers in this one, 2 to Max Rick Rogers and singles to Brody Carroll, Nick Hoare, Liam O'Day and Max Kelly for St Mary's. We've got the 4 goal scorers, Jackson Calder, Xavier Vallejo, Mitch Musgrove and Dylan Lant. Best for you tonight so far, Dodgy?
Well, there's quite a few players, but I say Robinson, O'Dwyer, Land and Kelly are my best so far on the ground. And they, I guess they're in a group of players that stand out because they are clean with the footy. There's a lot going on in the midfield, and I think there's plenty of activity and plenty of action around the ground for the supporters.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, plenty of fire in this one, and not untoward at all. We've mentioned it's been a very fiercely competitive game. We're looking forward to seeing what the second half will bring us.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
That's how you know. So.
Welcome back to Gardens Oval. Big second half in store. Possibly coming a little bit early here. Dodgy. On Will's with me is Mark Dodge. And, we've got a pretty good game on our hands. It's a 3-goal lead going Waratah's way.
Yep.
Probably fair assessment, fair judgment of where these two sides are at so far tonight. But going into it, I definitely thought St Mary's might have the upper hand. Waratah proving me wrong so far. Yeah,
I think it's a bit of a surprise for everyone. We actually thought that St Mary's would be in the position of leading at half-time, but all credit to Waratah. They've controlled the ball better, and they've controlled the ruck most of the time, and definitely the forward line's been stronger.
Something we've rarely noted tonight, for me, the 23rd man, the crowd here at Gardens Oval is definitely in Waratah's favour. That will be a huge factor, you'd think, going home in the last quarter.
Yeah, definitely.
Or the last second half, I should say.
I was going to say the second half, and if they play the ball on this side where the supporters are, which is what I'd do if I was a footballer or coach, tell them to play this side, that's going to make a big difference. It's going to help them a lot.
The goal scorers tonight, Max Rogers, he's had a pretty good game. He's had a pretty good season so far, only 17 and playing in the senior side. 2 for him, and singles to Max Kelly, Liam O'Day, Nick Hoare and Brodie Carroll for Waratah. For St Mary's, as you can see there, just entering onto the field now, starting their warm-up. It's singles only, 4 of them to Calder, Vallejo, Musgrove and Dylan Lant.
All the big names.
Absolutely, all the big names. And, I think this game has definitely so far fallen the way of he who plays the weather conditions best. It's been Waratah to the tune of 3 goals so far tonight. A little bit better than St Mary's, and probably a bit more consistent is the key as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting here at Waratah. It's very much a family club. And I saw they all had, they had the Little League playing out there at half-time, which I think is wonderful. It's great to see the kids getting involved, and they get a big cheer from the Waratah supporters when the Waratah players get a goal. So good fun for the kids, and I can see people taking pictures of kids out there now. So it's really good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a few little hanger-ons in that on that half-time break. And I guess we've had a few pretty interesting one-on-one contests across the field as well. We'll start at full-back for Waratah. Dan O'Dwyer was just saying to Nathaniel Chambers from the NT News, if he'd seen as much of the ball as everyone, he'd be my best on ground by a mile tonight. He's been fantastic down there.
Yeah, he has.
Probably winning the contest there against Jackson Calder, who, as you mentioned, has kicked 1 goal, but O'Dwyer's definitely had the better of him in most of the contests they've played, and also been very clean with the ball in what started off as pretty muddy conditions tonight.
Yeah, look, Calder hasn't had a real influence on the game, which is pretty interesting because he normally does. So this quarter they'll be looking for a lift from him from St Mary's.
Yeah, coming off a big week last week, I think he kicked 5 goals. Another interesting ruck contest is Riley Irvin from Waratah in the ruck, and his opponent has been Will Robinson, who a few years ago he was sort of playing that half-back flank or key defender role. Now finds himself as a big man in the side and competing in the ruck. And look, it's definitely changed the dynamic. I think Irvin as well is one who probably hasn't necessarily played a lot of ruck, or probably more to the point, played a lot more around the ground. And we're seeing that. We're seeing 2 ruckmen who can play a role around the ground as well.
Yeah, look, and the Waratah players are not really worrying too much who wins the ruck. They're actually roving off whoever gets the tap. And Robertson, I think, for mine, is probably a little bit undersized in that ruck position, but a wonderful player, and he can give a bit too. So I think it's been in control with Irvin, though, overall, and around the ground, I think, too, as well.
And 2 players I'm going to put the magnifying glass on as we head into the second half. Josh Salter-Lamakia for Waratah. I think he's been fantastic. He could be the one who gets up and goes and becomes a real key figure in this game. And for St Mary's, it's Nick Yarran. He hasn't seen a lot of it, but everything he has seen is done really well. If he can get his hands on the ball a bit more, he could be the key player tonight. 2 players that
play totally differently. Salter-Lamakia is in everything. He chases every ball. He tries to get in every context. Yarran picks and chooses, but what he does very well, what he does once he gets the ball, he's very classy and a good user of the football, and set up a couple of goals. And I think he's kicked 1, has he? Or has he kicked 2? Has he got 1?
Salter-Lamakia?
No, Yarran.
Yarran? No, he hasn't kicked. None of them have kicked any goals so far,
okay.
But Yarran, I think, is set up 2.
Goal assists have been great. So a strong player and a player who's got some class. So Salter-Lamakia for me is a very impressive player. He's not huge. He's just solid, and he's the sort of player that you just want at the base of the footy if it gets tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think Saltzlamarkia, we've mentioned a few times now, but he's just developed really well over the last few years and become a leader in this side. And, yeah, look, they're not short of leaders out there, either side really, but Waratah in particular, obviously, Dill Collis, he's been really good at half-back tonight as well, just playing that loose man role, which in these conditions is vital to going forward and taking the 4 points. Yeah, it just makes a huge difference if you've got someone like Collis that can control that half-back line, repel most of the attacks, and the ball's going to come in slower and it's going to be slewed off the foot a bit, so it gives him an advantage to be almost like the quarterback style. So we will start with that ruck contest we've had all night. It's Robinson versus Irvin in the ruck. Who can get advantage to their team first? Umpire now set to ball it up. Start the second half. Away we go, and it's Robinson who gets it down, paddles it forward. Not really to advantage though. Oh, big slide through the mud, and doesn't the crowd love that? Yeah, it's whoever kicks with the tide down there in the middle. I think that might have been Jack Lance getting a bit of mud on his chest there. He'll dive on it again, gets it to Dill Lance. Lamp boys working it together. A high one to half forward. Garner couldn't take the mark, but it falls into his hands. He gets it outside to the running. No, he doesn't. Fakes it. Bounces it to full forward. That'll bounce over the pack. Offline, though. Spills out. Doesn't go far enough. And now taken and caressed over the boundary line there by O'Dwyer. And Garner just tracked that footy. Even though he didn't get the mark first up, he just didn't give up. And the second and third effort was fantastic from him. Absolutely. We know he's a very credentialed footballer. Can do anything on the footy field. Looks like it'll be Calder competing in the ruck in the forward line for the Saints tonight. Front position was Irvin though. Garner again snaps it. Oh, what a kick. That is out of the ruck contest there, and he gets what was a very much needed goal for St Mary's in the first minute of this third quarter. And he was just wonderful. Twice in two contests, just controlling the footy and getting his name all over it. And what a kick for goal. He didn't even get a side. He just lined it straight up and off he went. Yeah, we mentioned Irvin sort of taking the ruck contest there, but Irvin just sharked it and straight onto that left and through for a goal. Some players just know how to find them, and he's one of them. Yeah, wonderful play. Wish I had the nous like that around goals, but not to be dodgy. Well, we'd both be playing out there. I probably wouldn't, but you would be. Yeah, look at that middle of the ground is becoming really sloppy now as it's getting more and more worn, and I think it's going to be interesting around that the pack there. Yeah, just so I think Ricky Monty getting his hands on it. On the mud. Sometimes it is handy, and I don't know if my women's side that I coach are in the mud, I'll probably say to them, just get your hands on it early so you're not afraid of the mud. Yeah. Sometimes it can be a bit nervy getting that first touch. I've seen Brody Philo at Nightcliff just dive into the mud as soon as he goes out the ground. Best trick for it is Brody Carroll. There was a flyer early, pretty ambitious and didn't pay off. Good smother there at the back line for St Mary's. There's Brown trying to get through. Parnell trying to get boot to ball as well. Think he might have, but only as far as O'Day. And now wrapped up. Another ball up will have in that forward pocket. And because of the conditions, it's a lot more congested, but you can see the big bodies in there throwing themselves around. It's, that's what's going on all through the game. Hutt toe pokes it. Now taken there by Chris. Lots of players hailing for cabs, looking for the free kick. They're not going to get it in that sort of conditions, that's for sure. Brown kick out. Kicks it long, but only as far as a Tars defender in Jack Wisnek. Kicks it long. Beautiful kick. Great kick. Now bounces out at the fall of the ball and snapping towards goal. Offline though, Waratah extend the margin by a single point. Now to 13. Just beautiful reading off the pack there, and the kick forward was fantastic. It was strong and hard. Jackland moved to full back and taking the kick outs down that far side now. And he did it well, didn't he? Beautiful kick, finds Garner. Garner will go long down the line. I think that has been a key trait of St Mary's tonight. Just look for the long pass because it's not going to be clean. If you can gain the mileage, then that's half the battle. Now trying to work it out there, or swarmed by a few Waratah defenders, but he's earned the free kick, has Chad Bertrand. Yeah, and they just pump the ball forward long, as you quite rightly said, and that's like the havoc ball. It's going to happen in these conditions. There's more chance of actually getting on top of the ball, and you just got to put your body in front, and then you're going to attract a free kick, which is very much what's happened here. Straight in front, about 30 metres out. It makes it interesting if he gets this one. Saints with one to start this quarter. Can they kick the second as well? Oh, it's offline and just through for a point. Back to 12 points the margin. O'Dwyer, he'll do the kick-outs.
It's almost a carbon copy of the second quarter where Saints come out on top straight away. Let's see what Waratah can do here.
And we'd say that left of screen where Waratah is kicking is probably the scoring end so far tonight.
Yeah.
Just belts it down to centre half forward. Hall couldn't get the better of his opponent there in Grant. And Grant, oh, he's hurt on the ground. Meanwhile, ball half forward, bounces off Collis, handball away, and St Mary's working it out. Here comes Dylan Lant. He's got wheels. Now gets it long to the wing. Goes beyond Emboscado, will handball it to a runner. Wasn't clean though. Now here coming through Barty. Centre half forward he goes. Again goes through them all. Spills out. Oh, good wheels there. I think it's O'Brien. He'll get it back. A quick little 1-2. Now he goes down the line, finds Yaron.
Solid play from Saints there. Player injured. I think he's just got winded.
Yaron kicks to half forward. And he kept running, was O'Brien. But it's taken over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in, and Dom Grant just been taken off by a trainer. As you said, he looks a bit ginger. Don't think it's anything too bad, just a heavy winding.
Yeah, nasty. And look, the Saints looked really clean off that back line then. They were solid and quick and got the handball working really well.
Calder taps it down. Lant at the fall of it, kicks it to full forward, spills off hands.
Dylan Lant's in everything again in this quarter.
Kieran with a clearing kick, but it's a 2-on-1. St Mary's overran it. Got a handball out. Very tight on the boundary line. Parnell just throws it on the boot into the forward line. Kieran Noah, couldn't take the mark. Kept it alive. Musgrove.
Kieran Noah did everything right except mark it then. He had the position and got front position, but just couldn't hang on. It's a cruel game when you're playing the back line, isn't it?
Yeah, not fun. Not fun at all. I can attest to that. Ball goes up. Holder probably getting the better in the rock contest. Kicked off the ground there towards goal. Only through for a point.
And look, Saints are definitely playing that havoc ball forward. They're just trying to get everything forward and run at goals. And that'll work if you can keep control of the footy. I mean, Richmond built 3 premierships on it, so it works for them.
Jackson Calder potentially trying to work his way into game 3, that ruck contest in the forward line. He seems to be doing okay in it.
Yeah, I think so. And he looks better in that forward line.
Just getting away from Lant there. And Waratah, are they out the back? Into the middle of the ground now. Got rid of it just before that mud patch. Off the half volley. And working around his opponent is Hall. He now goes to full forward. There's a man at the back by himself. He takes it. He plays on, runs through, and Ricky Monty kicks the goal.
And how good was Hall there? He's giving us a bit of a masterclass on how to play that half forward line. He just gets himself in position, gets himself well clear. I'm not sure where his opponent was, but there was no one within 15 metres, and he just controlled the footy and just put it beautifully on the forward's chest there. Yeah,
absolutely. Another player who's having a pretty good game. He's hit the scoreboard once already with a pretty good kick that I didn't back him in the end in that first quarter, and setting up another one there.
Yeah, and that's basically got the Tars back in control of the game again with almost a 20-point lead. So it's they're just doing it when it's required, aren't they?
That margin again now out to 18 points. It's probably just on a knife's edge now. Can Saints work their way back in, or will Waratah do what Nycliffe did to them last week and break away? Good hit out there from Irvin, just slapped it forward. Coming off the back was Parnell, couldn't take it cleanly.
That tap out from Irvin was worth a kick. It was magic. It probably 15 metres to advantage.
In fact, it was Zach Robinson off half back, not Parnell. Now comes out, gets through the hands there of Tui. Handball over the top. Oh, beautifully done from Waratah. Carlin on his left, kept it very tight to the boundary line, running through and taking the mark. Out on the full, he's called it. No, they've paid it. Oh, it's out on the full. And Hoare again just probably didn't have enough room to move there. Very tight kick, as we said, from Carlin. Saints now looking for a switch, albeit not very confidently.
No, they've tried to switch a couple of times. It hasn't really worked for them. This is a much better kick, though.
Brown was very lively in that first quarter. Not really sighted since. Now kicked to the top of the square. Oh, looked in pole position. I think it was Hoare again, but came off hands and he had a few Saints around him. Lant trying to work his body through. Oh, beautifully stolen by O'Day. He goes inside that centre corridor. Saints flying. Get it away. Now here comes Rich. Tackled. Handball away. Hoare again lively.
Amazing, and just Saints tried to come out the fat side here and get the ball moving, but they didn't have an option further down, and it was an easy turnover in the end. Very congested over on that pocket where all the goals have been scored from.
Yeah, absolutely. You wonder if there could be as I say, here they come. Corey Rich potentially lurking out. Doesn't matter. Didn't need to come to him. Snap on goal, and that's done beautifully. I think it might have been Dill Collis potentially. And the captain gets through another goal, extends it out to 24 points.
Starting to really influence the game, Dill Collis. He's terrific around the pack, and that goal was just copybook fantastic. Just a snap off the front and centre. It's once again Waratah are doing it when they have to, and they just. I think it's about to an 18-point lead again, isn't it? So it's approximately that. So I think it's just that margin seems to be the one they seem to be able to control.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's a pretty handy lead at the moment. As we said, 24 points, 23 points. Just got a bit of conjecture from the scoreboard on the screen to the scoreboard on the other side of the ground. But about that 4-goal point, and look, it's really in the danger zone, particularly in these conditions for St Mary's. You can see them working forward, just trying to get every inch, and there's a free kick paid against them.
Paid for a sling tackle, I think.
Yaron and O'Day getting into a little bit. We mentioned this one was fiery before half-time. Calmed and settled a little bit since then, but potentially, again, on a knife's edge in more ways than one. Here comes Saltalamacchia, runs into Robinson. That wasn't well thought out. Intercepted, and Saints now with an opportunity. Oh, Falcon hits the player lurking behind.
Saltalamacchia there, he should have just kicked the first option, but I mean, that's his game. He likes to run and carry, but he ran into Mitch Robinson, and he was never going to get past him, was he?
No, absolutely not. And probably thought he might outmaneuver him, but to his credit, Robinson stood firm and won the chocolates in that battle. Another hit out. I think that one might have gone Irvin's way.
It's a free kick. Saltalamacchia, is it?
This one going to Monty. Now to half forward. Good handball out there from Damon. Now inboard. Damon again trying to get involved. Comes out to O'Brien. He works inside. Now it's coming out this far side. Robinson will be the target. Marks it running back with the flight. Has a few options down forward. None really presenting hardly. Yaron ignored. So he'll play on. Kick it long into space. Gives his forwards a task to work to. Almost slung off the ball and appealing for it there was Dylan Land. Umpire has none of it, and Waratah worked down that far side. Probably required a bit more from him given the scoreline and the situation.
He just definitely played for the free kick all the way, and it just wasn't a free kick there. There's nowhere there.
Jack Lamb with a bullet-like pass to the top of the 50, almost intercepted. In fact, it was in the end, albeit at ground level. Yaron picked it up. No, he didn't. Let it go through, and now it's worked out. Too cute there, St Mary's. Waratah very clean with it. Now they work it down to half forward. Collis will keep running.
It's out the back there.
Hacks it off the ground. Hall will pick it up. Has a runner in Collis. Bit too fast on the overdrive. Parnell, he'll go across goal. Umpire calls play on. Well smothered by Carroll and over the boundary line. Boundary throw in. Dangerous position for St Mary's. Waratah in pole position.
Oh, look, they're looking strong, aren't they, Waratah? They've just got the run of the game at the moment, so they've got the game on their terms, really.
Absolutely. Again, with a new coach this year, Rick Nolan taking the reins down at Waratah. Probably took a few weeks to click, but they're looking very formidable at the moment.
Yeah, and obviously it takes it. Like whenever a new coach comes in, it takes a while for the messages that he wants to get across. Good players are still good players, and it's going to come good in the end, and they stick to their game plan, and it appears that that's what's happening at the moment.
Ball up now inside the forward 50. Kelly been quiet since half time. Gets it out now with Damon. He snaps on goal. Umpire has to work for it and has to work a lot. Just the point.
Pretty good snap on goal though from Damon. He just unlucky he didn't go the right side of the pole, but gee, he was lively, wasn't he?
Damon working his way into the game.
Yeah.
Here comes Jacob Long from fullback. Getting out that far side.
Umpires found a free kick to Waratah again this time, so I think they're just playing in front. I think that helps a lot.
O'Dwyer a long way from his home, but could be in a good position for Waratah. He works in the forward pocket. Hall gets a handball out. Couldn't hit the target. Now going through is Ethan Bush.
Haven't called him much tonight, Ethan Bush.
It's been okay. Another one who's just sort of lurked in the background. Not a star of tonight's show. Irvin probably been a little bit quiet in this third quarter as well. Robinson definitely having the better of him at the moment. But Robinson needs to spread that through his team. What can he do here? Not much as Irvin gets a hit out. Ball spills to the ground. Robinson then hacks it off the ground. Bounces through a couple. Carlin tried to take it cleanly. Now work through Chad Bertrand. Saints on the overlap. Dillant gets onto his left, kicks it. It's a one-on-one. O'Dwyer in better position, but the ball's been bouncing pretty funkily tonight. He paddles it down. Too strong a paddle. Xavier Falajo couldn't get it and give it back to him. Had it been a bit less forceful, Saints would have been away, you think.
Yeah, it's 24 that cold, isn't it? Yeah, he's looking. He felt every one of his years then trying to chase that ball out. They didn't put it into position for him or to advantage to him.
Just a bump out in the ruck. Now to Calder at full forward.
Yeah.
Can't take the mark. Hacks it off the ground and well offline. Through for a point. In fact, it'll be a free kick against. No, it'll be play on.
I think it was behind. Yeah, point.
Kicks it long out to the wing. Parnell takes it on the half volley. And now Waratah working back inboard.
Yeah.
Although there's a few Saints at half back, and that's exactly where it goes. Can't take it cleanly. Play on. Slung to ground there by Carlin within the rules.
They had the wall built there, Saints. They couldn't get clear.
Back inboard to Kelly. Beautiful handball. Beautiful chain of handballs. Now to Carroll. If anyone can kick it, he can. That's online, just offline.
Yeah, look, Saints did everything right except control the footy. They had the wall built. They had control. They knew exactly where they needed to be, but they just couldn't control the ball coming out of that back line.
And again, probably Waratah playing the ball a little bit better there as well. I think they almost expected the St Mary's defenders that it would come to them on the full, as hit the ground on the way through and play on, and Waratah were ready to pounce.
Exactly, and that's been the story of tonight, really, hasn't it?
Game stagnating just a little bit here.
Crowd's gone quiet, so that tells you.
Paddled down to by Irvin. Yaron picked up and then rolled into Irvin's head, thumped into the ground.
Yeah.
Free kick going the way of Carlin.
Carlin hasn't got many options, so he's just going to have to roost it forward.
Not a great kick. Could work out for them, as it has a lot tonight. Carroll gathered it, disposed and regathered. Now on the floor, Damon.
Not a lot of movement happening down there, so they're going to have to sort this out somehow, and if they want to win this game, Saints, they're going to have to learn how to get it out a bit more directly, I think.
Again, dangerous position for them, and you think if Saints are any chance, they need at least one more goal this quarter without letting Waratah score one. That could have been dangerous for them, but well offline and out on the full, and bounces over the back near that old haunted toilet block.
Yes, I've been there where it's been supposedly haunted. I've not actually heard anything. I've heard some things, but not ghosts.
Looks like it's Jacob Long going for a trek to find the ball again. And play to resume imminently. 18 minutes and 45 seconds through this third quarter. 25-point margin.
And 25 points in the context of this game is a big lead. So you're right, Saints definitely need to get one back without letting St Mary's get another one, without letting Waratah get another one.
And not just the total margin, but I think you look at the scoreboard in total, 19 scoring shots to 9. That tells you a pretty good indicator of how this game is being played.
Yeah.
St Mary's just holding on for dear life on the field and on the scoreboard. Oh, good feign there, though. Potentially an opportunity here. They've got an extra runner. Won't go to him.
It's called the wing. Waddy on the wing.
Waratah very good on the overlap there.
Yeah. And it didn't give him a chance to do it, did they? Because they just weren't quick enough.
They've got a wall built up, so they're forced to go wide. O'Dwyer again does very well to push Calder to the limit. Ball spills over. He couldn't take it cleanly.
O'Dwyer's definitely had the better of that battle, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Again, hasn't seen a lot of it, but probably hasn't needed to. Everything he's done, he's definitely kept Waratah well in advantage in this game. Monty getting on top of that one. Irvin, he gets the paddle down. Carlin could be away here. Good work there by Garner. Picked it up and hacked it forward. Finding the mark, there's Musgrove. Jack Musgrove it is. And into the forward
be a goal
line.
here.
Oh, St Mary's. Advantage paid.
Should be, shouldn't
it? It is. So we've got a goal. St Mary's slowly working their way back into this one. I think that might have been Dylan Land as well. He's second for the night. And reduced the margin to 19 points. Much needed goal. As we said, tail of the tape, 19 scoring shots to now 10, but only a 3-goal margin.
I think, and that's evident in that, Waratah have had control of this game pretty much on their own terms. But when St Mary's have got through, they've got through, and they've got through well. You can't win a game if you've got the half the amount of scoring shots. They've got to sort that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. 21 minutes gone in this third quarter. If they can squeeze another one on, it'd be very beneficial to them. In saying that, they'd probably prefer to not risk too much and let Waratah score one the other way. They'll go for it though, working forward. Play one to the top of the 50. Irvin run through. He'll get it now from Cox. Turnover though. Dylan Land, he'll have a crack at goal now. Jack Musgrove trying to get to the fall of it. Hacks it off the ground. Oh, just the wrong side of the post. Calder kept it alive. No, he hasn't. It's gone through for a point. Now it's an even 3 kicks.
And 3 kicks is achievable, so that's they're in a good position against St Mary's going into three-quarter time.
Tars work it down to this Hunter Harrison grandstand side. Hutt a short one over the top. And Lovell, he takes another mark. He's got a runner. We'll ignore him. Instead, he'll go to the top of the 50. Danger zone for St Mary's, not what they wanted.
Oh,
good mark there at half back, and just throwing a little fist was Parnell. Frustrated, but didn't give away a free. Or he nearly tried to give an elbow there on the way through as well. Goes long down the line. Oh,
great mark.
Great mark there from Mitch Musgrove. Didn't think he was going to get that at all, but just held fast, held his position and got his mitts up. That one will hit the deck. Jack Lamb put pressure on. Oh, Big Hodges went for a bump on the way through as well. Dill Collis kept his feet. Waratah, they've now got a foot race. Dill Collis' ball bouncing the right way, though. Can it go all the way? Brodie Carroll, karate kick from the goal square. And Waratah reclaim that 4-goal lead. Oh, there's a conference in the goal square. What will they say?
Should be a goal.
All clear. And the fans are happy with that.
And you say that was freakish, but he does it so often. It's just part of his game, isn't it, Brodie Carroll? He's terrific at that sort of running, hustling that ball forward and getting a goal out of it.
Absolutely. Take a look at this. Could have well let it go through, but probably sensed the pressure, so he's just gone for it. Off his right. Don't know how many goals he's scored off his right boot, Dodgy.
Well, I think it was sort of off his right and his left together. But that's the sort of play that the Tars have done most of the night, and that's why they're winning this game, really. It's just that push forward and just being a bit classy around the pack.
Yeah, willing to do that hard run forward, and I guess prepared to do that knowing that you might have to turn around and get on your skates to do that defensive work as well. It's paid off a few times. Probably 3 or 4 goals of their 9 have come from that cheeky one out the back. Here comes O'Dwyer. Just towed it and then reclaimed his own ball, and Waratah will be very happy with a 4-goal lead going into the final quarter. 9-11-65 to St Mary's 6-5-41.
Every time we thought they were going to get back in at Saints, Tars just controlled the fall again, and 4 goals is a great lead to go in at 3/4 time in these conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Waratah 3 goals that quarter to St Mary's kicking 2. Just quickly go through the goal scorers. Max Rogers, he's got 2, the only dual goal scorer for the night. Very quiet in that third quarter. I don't think we saw him at all. We saw him cramping in that second, so he might be done for the night. Otherwise, singles to, or 2 now to Brodie Carroll, I should say, and singles to Dill Collis, Nick Hoare, Liam O'Day and Ricky Monty, and Max Kelly as well. For St Mary's, singles all to Dylan Lant, Jack Lant, Jackson Calder, Joel Garner, Xavier Vallejo and Mitch Musgrove. We'll be back after this short 3/4 time break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back. We've got our final quarter about to get underway here at Gardens Oval. Round 4, Friday night action, Waratah versus St Mary's. And it's Waratah with, going into this game, what we would have said is an unlikely 4-goal lead at three-quarter time. Many backing the Saints, myself included. I'm Will Zwar. With me is Mark Dodge. And what are we expecting for this last quarter, Dodgy?
Well, it's going to be really interesting. Can Saints pull back? They need to get the first two straight away without letting Tars in again. But Tars have done everything right. Every time it's got close to being a 10-point lead or a bit less, they've just come good and been able to hit those 2 or 3 goals. And their forwards, their midfields have been controlling the ball when it gets down there. And what is it, 20 scoring shots to 11. So that tells the tale of the tape, really. If you've got 20 times having to go at goal, you're probably going to win.
We'll just look quickly around the grounds as well, and out in Palmerston, it's Wanderers who've kicked the last 5 goals of the match. They currently hold a 24-point lead in that game as well against Palmerston. So I was tipping Wanderers to finish bottom of the ladder this year, but they could get their first win tonight.
Surprising, isn't it? Especially after Palmerston's big win last week.
And there's another pretty big game this weekend as well, Dodgy.
Yeah, amazing. The AFLW Dreamtime game, 6:45 tomorrow night at TIO Stadium between Richmond and Essendon, and the girls are in here and they're excited, and they've been doing a lot of work with the communities and with the locals here. So it's great to see that sort of game being held in Darwin.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously it is a bit of an exhibition game in Darwin, but in terms of their season, the context of their season, it's a pretty big game. It'll be 5th versus 8th. Richmond obviously fighting for a top 4 spot, and Essendon, they've got a few teams clipping at their heels. So both teams come out firing, and I'm expecting a pretty good clash. There's 2 rounds left in the AFLW season, and as we said, both those teams still very much alive in that competition. And
they expect a good crowd there tomorrow night, the AFL, and I think they will get that. There's a real good feeling about that AFLW game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're trying to get a lot of the games, as we mentioned, 2 Premier League games tonight, 2 early tomorrow morning as well. Trying to get those Premier League games away so that people can make the footy, and it should be a great game. Spoke to a couple of girls this morning who are playing in that game. They seem very excited to be up here. It's a great part of their competition as well. It's only a 10 or 12 week competition, including finals, so to get away, it's a really good bonding experience for them, and caught the plane up together as well. I think the front was filled with the Tigers and the back was filled with the Bombers, so a little bit of banter going on and a little bit of trash talk already starting, but sure to be an entertaining game tomorrow night at TIO Stadium.
It'll be wonderful, and a couple of my workmates play WPL football, and they trained with them last night, and they said they couldn't believe how hot it was when the girls from Richmond and Essendon. Totally different to playing down there.
Absolutely. I think they'll get a pretty good curtain raiser there. I think it's Women's Premier League, Tiwi versus Bus, who will give them a good show and something to work with. But back at the game at hand, this final quarter has started. Saints have started well in the second and third quarter. They need to start well again tonight. Here comes Nicky Aaron. I beckoned him at half-time to turn the game around. What can he do here? He's getting involved early.
He had a quiet third quarter, so he needs to lift again to give him some focus down there.
Tars just edging an extra goal ahead in that third quarter. 3 goals they kicked to 2 going the other way. Yaron again, another early touch. Gets it to
Great
Bertrand,
touch.
into the pocket. Calder spills through his hands, but here comes Mitch Musgrove on the deck near the boundary, sells a bit of candy, in some space now, goes back to Calder. Calder on his left, non-preferred. And through for a behind.
I feel a bit sorry for Calder tonight. They haven't delivered the ball well, partly because of the conditions, but also they're just not playing that good kick out of the half back line. So after our forward line, half back line. So it's difficult for a big man like that to turn around and wheel quickly like that, especially when it's wet.
O'Dwyer, he now comes out of the back line. Gee, that is a very long kick. In fact, it was Banbury. And it's out on the full. So St Mary's to load up and have another crack.
A very, very good chance here. Now, they've got plenty of players around the ball and around the ground, so let's see what they can do here.
Here comes Mitch Musgrove.
And he's been prominent in his first five minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. There's 2 of the Musgroves out there, both having a pretty good impact on the game. And yeah, I think you're right about Jackson Calder there. A bit unlucky tonight. Obviously, he's probably got one of the best fullbacks that this competition's seen for a few years, and not really being given a lot, and particularly in these wet conditions, it's hard to get advantage anyway. Here comes Jack Lant now going to that contest. Calder at the fall, again just spills through his hands. Now he's giving off a Shepherd. Mitch Musgrove tried to dribble one through, only a behind.
It's a game of centimetres, isn't it, Dave? If they've got those last 2 forays forward, they'll be right back in this game.
Banbury will have another crack out the other side. Can he go for the double out on the full on each flank?
That's
that
a pretty
one,
big kick.
That one won't. That'll go centre wing.
I don't think he had the wind behind him, so that's a fair kick, isn't it?
Absolutely. Now works to half forward. Brown couldn't take it. Handball over the top. Nearly hospital ball. But he worked it well. Dom Grant trying to put pressure on Carroll. Got a handball forward, not with enough pressure behind it. Now kicked inside 50 to the top of the square. 2-on-2. All keeping their feet. Robinson now playing at full back by the looks of things. Hoare almost looked at goal. Handballed over the top. Maybe should have gone for goal. Delayed his handball and St Mary's are out of there. No, they're not. Can't take it. Clean mark. Parnell works it back. Now coming through is Tui. Goes down that far wing again through the hands of Irvin. Irvin trying to work at ground level. Long way down for the big fella. Stripped to the ball there was Yaron, and it'll be a free kick going Waratah's way. Yaron, does he give a 50? Needs to be careful. Being called back to the mark now.
Very, very lucky not to give a 50 there, Will. He, won't say any more, but that was lucky.
Here comes Monty. Low ball. Oh, beautiful pass there to Irvin.
First really good kick we've seen forward today.
Irvin, he now goes forward as well to the hot spot, exactly where you want it. Not hot enough though. Now coming through is Bertrand across goal. Gee, that's dangerous. Hutt, he can wheel around. Big mobile man, snaps on goal. Umpire has to move a little bit across the face, marked by Long.
Not sure what Bertrand was doing. He must have got a call, but that was a bad kick out of there.
Good vision, and he finds Tui. Tui will play on, look down the line for Jack Lant.
Oh, man,
beautifully worked. And that's not a good kick.
He's kicked a
Jackson
space.
Told us saying, where have you kicked it, mate?
He's looked over his shoulder and said, are you serious?
Yeah, in a little bit of space, but he's completely gone to his disadvantage. You know, Dwyer, again, just picking up the ball.
Probably the first time tonight Calder's got free off of Dwyer, and he just kicked it over his head.
Now they come to half forward, Waratah. Or sitting at the bottom of it, and done very well with Sinnott. Sinnott directing his players. Again into that centre corridor. Beautiful mark. And it will be Hoare.
Hoare just going on where he left off in the first three quarters. Just a brilliant mark, and just had control of the footy all the way through.
Something Waratah have done very well tonight. The scoreline probably doesn't reflect it, but they have gone into that centre corridor almost every time they've gone inside 50, and I think a lot of those 11 points would be rushed through as opposed to inaccurate shots.
Indeed, and I think that's part of the plan here with the Tars. They just play this ground so well where you just get that ball into the centre corridor as much as you possibly can.
In comes Hoare. Oh, made the umpire work. Only throw for behind.
Disappointing kick, really, because it wasn't that difficult, but, it's a long distance, so he's trying to get some extra distance.
Now it's 22 points. He finds Hodges.
And they need 15 Will Robinsons out there, don't they?
Absolutely. One at full back, one in the ruck, one at half back. Maybe one to give Jackson Calder a chop out at full forward.
And that's a good point. No one's given Jackson a chop out, so he's had to do it himself.
Now picking it up at half forward, paddling it to the advantage of Rogers, who looks like he's back on ground. Quite in that third quarter, as you mentioned, but 2 ripping goals in that first half.
Yeah.
Picked up by Rich on the wing. Garner, he works it forward into space. Mitch Musgrove has 2 to beat. Does a pretty good job at getting to the contest. They work it back though. Good work from the Saints on half forward. 22 points, not beyond them. It is a low-scoring game. They need to get on their bike.
It's not beyond them. They're probably running at about 70% currently, the Saints.
Things like that won't help those. They give away a free kick and
off the ball here.
Another one off the ball.
I think it was a dive. I think the umpires deemed it to be a dive from me. So you just can't afford to do that when you're still within, catching the side.
Emboscado, very impressive key defender for Waratah.
Yeah, he's in the best, isn't he, Emboscado?
And ball not to the advantage of their forwards. That one skied and caught by the tree up there in the on the Botanic Garden side wing.
Might have been a fruit bat, mate. Great mark.
Just fetching for the ball over the fence. Dill Collis will be the kicker.
And you can probably hear in the effects, Mike, the wind's got up a little bit here, and that's going to make a difference. I think it's certainly favouring the Tars.
Corey Rich. Can be a long kick. That one into the pocket. Oh, nearly marked by Hutt. Bounced off his chest. Snap from the pocket.
Fair snap.
Just across the face and through for behind.
They're peppering the goals, and that's how you can win games. And it takes the heart out of the opposition too when you do that, constantly peppering the goals. And there's currently 22 scoring shots there, so it's a massive amount times 4.
Absolutely, and 23 points up. They get one more. It's looking really hard, and they get 2 more points. It's looking almost impossible.
Yeah.
In saying that, if they can convert those into 2 goals, they're looking really good. Parnell gives it off. Or getting to a spot of bother here. Long had to work backwards. And again, probably not given a shepherd he needed from his captain.
Oh, look at that mark.
Beautiful mark from O'Brien. Saints work it out. They could be back on here. Now comes Ethan Bush. Inside 50 to the lead there. Oh, beautiful mark there from Musgrove. Umpire calls play on.
He has called it late, hasn't he?
Well, he looks in a spot of bother. Might have hit him in a sweet spot.
The other umpire that was 35 metres away called it, so he worked that out anyway. That's why they've got the extra umpires out there. That's what it's all about. He just looks groggy. I think he got winded. I think he's okay. This makes it interesting. 100%. This is a goal they definitely need.
Absolutely. If he can kick this, as you say, anything's on, and it's pretty easy. 1 from the middle is pretty easy. 2 maybe not, but if he can kick this and then they can get another quick one from the middle, it's within 2 goals. Let's not count our eggs before they hatch, though. That one well wide.
Nowhere near it. Yeah, just trying to get the extra distance, I think.
And the angle that they collided there, I feared it could have been maybe a collarbone or something, but Musgrove up and about still.
He looks a bit groggy, but he doesn't look in too much distress.
Maybe he could be the man, the key target they need while Holder is under duress.
Well, if he is, he needs to get in a bit closer to goal, because that's where he's going to be dangerous. It's no good trying to kick him from there. 65 hours difficult for anyone to get.
O'Dwyer out that far side. Spills over for a boundary throw in.
Game in a bit of a strange position at the moment. Waratah would be pretty happy to work the clock down if they can, but it's not a big enough lead to sort of be relaxed on.
No, halfway through this final quarter.
But you can take a bit of time off the clock even halfway through the quarter, and that makes it difficult for an opposition to come back when you do that.
Absolutely. I think they'd be wanting to just chew down the clock as much as they can.
Yep.
But they know it's not over yet, and if they can get an easy goal along the way, they'll take it.
They need to bring the ball out to their supporter side here too, so they can get a bit of a cheer on.
Yeah,
that 23rd man.
23rd man been a bit quieter this quarter.
This crowd's gone very quiet.
No goals yet scored in the first 10 minutes. Telling of where the game is at. And coming into this one, it was 2nd versus 5th. Those roles you wouldn't think would quite be reversed.
No, but a few sides will be looking over their shoulder, Will, and Waratahs can win this game with a big margin or in this sort of conditions. Oh, kick or snap off there.
Spills over the boundary line
and take out the second side that hasn't been troubled yet. That makes it interesting for the rest of the competition.
You'd think Tiwi probably favourites tomorrow against Darwin Buffaloes. Could skyrocket into 2nd position.
Yeah, Tiwi, odds on to win that one really, they're playing good footy. They've got their players back, so it's going to make a big difference.
Calder hit his hands now, snapped out of there from O'Brien towards goal.
Has he got it?
Opening of the final term, and
yes.
Do we have a game on our hands?
Well, that's certainly made it gettable for the Saints, and once again they just get those goals from strange positions, but they are getting them, so it doesn't matter how you get the ball in there as long as you get the ball in there. Great
work there from O'Brien just to sense the space he had and have a crack at it.
Just a standard, good quality front and centre goal, wasn't it? And that's what you want from your small forwards.
Look, they're still alive. If they could pinch something here, to be pretty unlikely. You can see the scoreline there. Just 15 scoring shots, now 16 to 24. So game well and truly played on Waratah's terms tonight.
be an interesting goal if they get the next one because, it puts them right back in the game. So let's see what happens from this centre bounce or centre toss-up because of that puddle in the middle there.
You'd think they'd go for it. Hodges and Lant in the middle. Comes back to Hodges. Now he goes out to Robinson.
Hodges just control that.
Well, they are on here. Here comes Tui outside 50 to the top of the square. Spills off hands. Coldest Crumming.
Must get a goal here.
Can't play his key role. Oh, that one not a good kick and it'll go out of bounds on the full. Just not his night, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, look, just nowhere near at that time, unfortunately. It's, we'd get that probably 9 times out of 10, but didn't do it this time. That would have been a real handy goal, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Two straight.
And credit to him, he's hasn't had the best night, but he's just trying to get involved in whatever way he can.
And viewers can probably hear that in the effects mic. That wind's got right up now, and it's definitely favouring Waratah.
So an uphill battle for the Saints. What can they do? Not stop Evan by the looks of it. He's had a very good game tonight as well. Goes down that far Botanic Garden side wing. Not a clean kick though. Bounces off Jack Musgrove's chest. Lant, he kicks it inside 50 to the hot spot. Calder, he takes a mark finally inside 50.
Great marking in a good position.
Beautiful position. He'll come back now.
Now, every other night you'd say he was a Monty to get this, but we'll see tonight. Hopefully he does. It's going through it. Like these are nights where you just got to forget about what's happened all night and just focus on your routine.
I think this will only be about his 4th shot on goal as well, and 2 of those were that one we just saw before, which wasn't a real, it was more just a Hail Mary. This is his 2nd genuine shot. His first went through, and that one's gone through as well.
He didn't look like he even worried about that one. That's a great goal. And look, that's the sort of thing that guys like that have been around for a long time can do, and that's made a big difference to that scoreline. I mean, look at that. It's a really interesting point of the game now.
Yeah, absolutely. Just 10 points.
How much have they got in the tank? Because these sort of conditions we forget up here that that's hard running on the ground. It takes a lot of energy away, and you're getting knocked over a lot more. That takes energy away too. So, who's got the strength? Who's got the fitness? At this stage, you'd say Waratah, but there's been a great fight back from the Saints here.
And we did see last week Waratah probably had a grapple on last week's game and just fell away in that last quarter, ran out of petrol tickets. Are we up for a repeat?
You and I might disagree on that one, but
ball goes out to that far side wing. Picking it up, I think it was Bertram. Keeps his feet.
Great kick forward. Unfortunately, just slightly off, but he was a good effort.
Worked inboard. Land inside 50. Can't hit a target. Yaron. Tackle got through his arms. Waratah rebound.
A bit disappointing for Yaron that time. He should have held the ball in there.
Hold paid going Waratah's way.
Now here we go. It's a big win behind him. There's no one up forward. It's one-on-ones everywhere. Oh, he's gone short.
He's got another runner on the outside if he wants. He'll go there. Bit more to the running advantage.
This is the first time they've gone wide, Tar, so they must be a bit worried about the scoreline.
Corey Rich now into Collis.
Back in the corridor now.
Had Wisnek short, but he's probably not in enough space now, so he'll just go long into the pocket. Carroll lurking behind the ball. Didn't need it. Hutt takes the mark in the pocket.
I don't know whether the defenders were not sighted, but they just let it go on his own.
Almost looked like the ball sort of deviated last minute, potentially with that wind, and just sat in his lap perfectly.
Just uncontested mark, really, and you don't get that in the forward line in the last quarter of a game.
So Toby Hutt, haven't seen a lot of goal kicking from him from these tighter angles. More of them have been a bit more favourable than in front of goal. What can he do here? Kicks towards goal. Just a behind. 11 points, still dangerous.
And it's difficult down that end. The wind swirls around that pocket.
Oh. Shepherd off the ball, well and truly went for the man. Cox intercepts. Cox gets a handball away. Intercepted by Long. He went for another crack, and so did Long. Long came off with it best. Has Lant to work back to, and he does. He had to. Lant just bounced off his opponent, then got to Long. Gee, they are in a spot of bother, but the two have beaten 3. gotten out now to Dylan Lant, or the Lant brothers fighting over the ball, probably not for the first time in their lives.
Yeah.
Yaron puts some body contact on. Calder picks it up, snaps it forward. 2-on-1. Garner had a few to beat. Just put some pressure on. Free kick going his way.
And take your hat off, Lant. That's just, he just didn't give up then.
And a 50.
Kept it going. And a 50 metre too. So this is a real chance for them to get right in this game. And Dylan Lant really was the one that kept that going. He just didn't give up. He kept at it. He's a big barrelling chested, big arm boy. He just keeps at it and he didn't stop. And pretty much left all the defenders in his wake.
Absolutely, yeah. You're right. And that contest on half-back, you probably wouldn't have backed a 2-on-3 there, but Lanton and Long, they just did superbly there in keeping composed, making it hard for their opponent and slowly but surely getting one out to a runner.
And it wasn't pretty, but it was just hard footy, and that's what you want when you get these conditions.
Garner to make it really interesting, and he does.
What a kick.
And we're back to a 6-point ball game. 9-14-68. Waratah leading St Mary's. 9-8-62.
A topsy-turvy game, you call this, and incredible, really. This last 5 minutes of St Mary's has been copybook football. Really good quality footy. Just throwing themselves at the ball and just not giving up. And that's that spirit that the Saints have had for a long time.
And the way that Waratah's played the conditions, not St Mary's in the first half or the first 3 quarters, now St Mary's is doing. They're not playing against Waratah, they're playing better to the conditions. Yeah, and that's what's happened every time the Saints have got back within goal scoring. That's what they've done. They've played this type of football. And now, see what Robertson can do in the ruck here. He who dares wins. Who can keep composed? Oh, big knock. Saints with a bit of momentum behind them, but Waratah with the lead. They work it forward now. Working hard, Saints again. Handball out there to Zach Robinson. Put him under the pump. Now here comes Scott Carlin, a short one. Brody Carroll juggles it. I think Jack Lance saying, surely that wasn't 15, but the umpires have paid it. It's as short as 15 I've ever seen, but anyway. Get the tape measure out. It was spectacular, and the local crowd loved it. Carroll with 2 tonight. Yeah, look, and once again, he's had a great game, hasn't he, Carroll? Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes he can just have a pretty quiet night, which, he'd probably call this one of his quieter ones, and he still pops up with a couple of goals. 30 metres out. I think we'd all like to have quiet nights like Carroll. The man on the mark, Carroll directly in front, stutters in. Let's see what the crowd says. They love it, and so does Carroll. A bit of double cobra action. It extends it back out to 12 points. 10-14-74. Tars leads St Mary's 9-8-62. Still only the 19-minute mark, so there's still plenty of time. But, gee, that was a great comeback from Tars. They looked like they were in all sorts of trouble, and St Mary's was controlling the ball off that back line. But just a bit of brilliance there from Carroll, just taking that mark. Perhaps a little bit short, but it doesn't matter. They all counted, just put his arms out and grabbed it, and the big dukes. He doesn't miss many when he's in front like that either, does he? Well, he's a great kick at a goal, and that's how many years have he been doing that here? Oh, plenty of years. Yeah. There's I think pictures of him in the Old Man from when he was a junior, and he's captained the club to a premiership since then, and now one of the. He's still got plenty of years ahead of him, but one of the vets of the club. Yeah, and if you get a chance, anyone who hasn't been through the Waratah's club room, it's good to have a look at those pictures. There's some great memories there, and you can see players and their fathers over the years. Waratah working the ball forward again. Saltalamakia getting involved, giving a high tackle, a high free kick away. Pulled off the ball there by Zach Robinson, just needs to be careful. They gave away a goal from a 50 shortly ago. Don't want to do it again. 20 and a half minutes gone in this 4th quarter, so not long left. Must get a goal here, Saints. Dill Lamp works it down to the big key forward, Calder. Spills over the back. It's not a loss yet. They can work something forward from here. They're in a good position. And every time they threaten, it's Dillander who's the one that starts it. He's the instigator, isn't he? Absolutely. Not necessarily his busiest night either, but everything he's done has been pretty influential. Robinson a bit quieter this last quarter. He's competing in the ruck here. Irvin got forward early. And then I think that might have been Banbury. Just got advantage. O'Brien, it might have been just a bit too hot there under the Waratah defenders. Free kick going St Mary's way. This has to be the one. That's going to be popular on the Waratah wing, isn't it? The supporters wing. But, they're just doing it well, aren't they? They're just getting their bodies over the ball. Calder offers a lead into the pocket, goes to him. Calder, good fist over the top from the second tall there, and it's big Riley Irvin, the ruck.
He's had a great night, hasn't he, Irvin? He's done everything right.
Absolutely, yeah, he's played very well in the ruck there. And, I haven't seen that in his game so far this season, that sort of defensive role as much, but that was crucial spoil there. If Calder had a one-on-one, he's half a chance to take it even against the best in Dan O'Dwyer, but the work there from Irvin was just fantastic. Now comes to ground level, and Waratah seemingly to work it out here. Sinot just kicks it down the line.
What a mark. He dropped
Not quite a mark there, or will they pay it?
I think they're going to play unrealistic attempt. I don't know how that's an unrealistic attempt.
Free kick.
It's a Shepherd.
Going the way of St Mary's. Is it downfield or...?
Shepherd off the ball. Should be downfield, shouldn't it?
So it's going to Kieran Parnell. Last chance saloon for them. What can they do? Calder into the pocket, running. Spills off the back. O'Dwyer picks it up. Goes across goal. Finds Carroll. Not Carroll, it's Corey Rich. Just tells him to settle it. 23 minutes gone. They need 2 goals. You'd think time is now almost too big a factor.
Yeah, definitely. And hats off to Waratah. They've been threatened a few times, and they've always just been able to find something to steady the game and play these conditions much better. It makes the season very interesting from here, doesn't it? With both of these sides are fighting at different levels. So Waratah dropped that game last week against Nightcliff, and they've come back fighting this week.
Absolutely, and I think St Mary's probably had the hardest record to judge so far. They've had Nightcliff in round 1, who, from all reports, didn't see much that game, but from all reports, it was almost a pretty ordinary first game of the season all around. And then
they didn't show up, Nightcliff.
The next week or last week, they had Pine, who were pretty ordinary. A loss tonight. St Mary's probably one of the harder teams to read this season, but for tonight it's Waratah who walk away with the chocolates. Yeah,
an entertaining game, Will. It was once again a great Friday night football fixture here at the home of football, or the spiritual home of football. Waratah with a good crowd in and giving them plenty out there. And it's great to see that, even with the conditions as they are tonight, they were able to still play some good football.
Brody Carroll with 3 goals, Max Rogers with 2, and singles to Max Kelly, Ricky Monty, Liam O'Day, Nick Hoare and Dill Collis for Waratah. For St Mary's, it was 2 each to Jackson Calder and Joel Garner. Important ones in that last quarter, but it wasn't enough. Singles to Jack Lant, Xavier Vallejo, Mitch Musgrove, Dill Lant and Liam O'Brien. A final score, 10-14-74, Waratah 11-point victors over St Mary's. Do you have a 3-2-1 ready for us, Dodgy?
Yeah, well, I reckon 3 votes to Robinson. I know he faded a little bit in that last quarter, but Mitch Robinson did very, very well to control the game. 2 votes to O'Dwyer, especially for his first half, and 1 vote to Irvin in the ruck and around the ground.
Yeah, I think that ruck contest was fantastic. There's a whole blanket of players you could have put the votes over tonight. I thought Brody Carroll was pretty quiet, but he popped up with 3. Probably not quite in the votes tonight. Love the game of Salter Lamarkia, another one who faded a little bit, and Scott Carlin, he was probably one of the more consistent players over the night for me. I'll give my votes also to Big Will Robinson in the ruck for St Mary's. I'll go 2 votes to Scott Carlin. I'll go 1 vote to Dan O'Dwyer.
Yep. And a great game of footy, and something to really enjoy and to build their season on from Waratah's point of view.
Absolutely, and we mentioned through the broadcast as well, it's the 4th game for Big Rick Nolan. He'd be pretty happy with how the team's going. It took probably 2.5 weeks sort of for them to settle, and even last week they faded late, as we've mentioned. Yeah. But yeah, they're really looking like a formidable outfit now, and will probably challenge for that top 2 or 3 positions.
And I think, I've got a connection to Nightcliff, as everybody knows, but I think one thing you're probably misjudging a little bit, or perhaps understanding a bit, is it's how hard it is to win at Nightcliff. It is a different sort of ground, and a game could change within seconds, and as it did in that game. So I think he'd be pretty happy with his start for the season, and he's getting his message across, and he's playing a different type of footy than what they did last year. So it's very interesting to see how this works out over the long period of time once the wet really starts.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think you're absolutely right there with Nightcliff's home ground advantage, similar to what Waratah had tonight. And going into this one, I think a lot of people would have backed St Mary's, but particularly when the game was there to be won early, it was Waratah who managed to get the ball in their boot better.
Yeah, definitely. And look, I also thought St Mary's was going to win this, but as you said, it's hard to judge their form coming in. Now we sort of know a bit about where they are, and you know that they've got a lot to work with, but some of their big stars are just struggling a little bit there, and I think there's a bit of work to do, and perhaps a little bit of work at the selection table, we might say.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a fantastic night here at Gardens Oval. Great way to start round 4. A big weekend of footy with the AFLW coming to town tomorrow. We look forward to bringing you more action from the NTFL over the weekend. Thank you and good night.
Good night.